Welcome into the Cam Strick Podcast, episode number 259.
Yeah, baby. What's up? What's up with you?
Fueled by First Form.
First Farm. Got me one of these beef sticks right here. 20 grams of protein. Makes you horny. Yeah, I said it. Makes you horny.
Can I tell you what happened to me this morning?
What? Did you, a bird in your backyard again?
I woke up with like a bloody nose, dude.
Were you partying over the weekend?
No. Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Is that what happens?
Yes, it does.
No, I wake up this morning and blood is everywhere.
What happened?
It's the weather. I think it's the change of the seasons.
Yeah, man. That's like about as nice as you can get here in Missouri. Over the weekend, 65 degrees, beautiful, little wind, chilly in the morning, barbecue season, man. I made chili. My daddy came over. I made some jalapeno poppers. I made some chicken wangs. Homemade, damn good chili, Andy. Damn good chili.
Oh, we made some chili last night too, man. That's kind of what you do.
You put beef in it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was like a veggie.
Sure
it was like a veggie chili.
Oh, I'm sure it was real good. All fucking beans.
Although I did have a talk with my wife yesterday about my kids having more protein. Just making sure they're eating more protein. Protein is very important, Cam, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, just because you got to think of your kid, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your body's different than his, man. He's growing every day. He's working out a lot more than you.
What about my body?
Well, what, you want me to get into it now? But, no, man, like, he needs fuel, dude. Mm-hmm. So just because you don't want to do something, maybe it's better for him and not you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Can I just say this, though? We have wild animals outside my house. No, it's like, no. It's like a haunted spot. The other night I'm outside, and all of a sudden some animal's like heckling me. Yeah. It's like yelling at me. So I would start talking to it back, and then it starts screaming at me. I put the video up on my Instagram if you guys want to follow me and check out my Instagram.
It's riveting.
I got several comments. Lots of people are very interested, trying to guess as to what it is. Nobody tends to have any idea, Cam. I sent it to you thinking maybe you'd be able to, you like get all angry about it.
No. You act like you're in the middle of the woods. You're not.
I am.
You film your backyard, which is like a little patchy tree area. And literally, I could hear the marching band from Chaminade High School in your backyard. I could hear the freeway on Highway 40 in the background. There's kids running around everywhere. But you got a little birds chirping at you. And you got scared. And you're acting like you're fucking in the middle of the wilderness. You're not. You're not. Now, that could have been an owl. Now, let me tell you this, Andy.
It wasn't an owl.
It might be. Don't mess with them owls, boy. Don't mess with them owls.
They'll come out of the trees?
They're majestic.
What does that mean?
Well, they have some sort of power, man. I'm telling you,
the Native
they could probably put a little curse on you, just so you know. I'm telling you, don't mess with owls. Not to mention, they could spin their head around like Reagan off of Exorcist. Don't mess with owls, and they'll fucking kill your kitty cat.
You heard what it was, dude. And
what was it?
Most people have never heard anything like this.
It's a bird.
No, dude, you were like, it's actually pretty scary.
No, it's a bird.
No, say what you said.
It's an owl.
It's not an owl.
Then what was it?
I don't know.
A bear?
Dude, I don't know.
It was chirping like a bird.
I haven't seen it. It's like a Sasquatch.
Oh, yeah, Sasquatch. You're right.
Like hiding in the woods.
You know where that came from? Sasquatch.
From where?
It happened, Momo the Monster. Mm-hmm. I believe it was in Hannibal, Missouri, back in the 70s, where a guy said he keeps seeing this goddamn Sasquatch in upstate Missouri, and it blew up in the 70s, and people ran out there and tried to find it and whatnot. It was like a huge, big thing in the 70s in Missouri. Same with The Exorcist. I'm tying it all together. That happened in South City, too. I believe back in the 50s, but it was a dude. Yes, a house in South City. Oh. South St. Louis.
I'm not in South City.
Well, you kind of are. Kind of by you.
Not even close.
Well, you're 5 minutes away from South City.
No.
Down 40? Down Highway 40, you're like 5-7 minutes.
Yeah, and
you're
then
5 miles from it.
You have to go like another 10 minutes.
Okay, whatever.
South.
My point is, in The Exorcist, though, that was a true story, Andy, and it happened in South City, in Missouri in the 50s.
That's not what it was,
and they had to have priests come over from Italy, and it was a boy, and he's speaking like perfect Latin, and he's doing crazy stuff. Yes, look that mug up, dude.
I sent the video to a number of nature conservatories. Lots of people are getting back to me right now, Cam, trying to guess as to what it is. In fact, I've got television news crews coming out later on tonight because it only happens at night. Like, this thing will not, like, I yell at it during the daytime, won't say anything. At nighttime, it does. So I was looking at a video of a Komodo dragon.
A Komodo?
Komodo
Those are from
dragon.
Indonesia,
Did you see that video when it ate that baby deer, dude?
Yeah, dude, I see these videos all the time.
No, like it ate a baby deer. Like, just went right up to it.
We know.
And just
They're
ate
only
it
in
whole.
Indonesia. They're poisonous as hell. They're gigantic.
Oh.
They're gigantic.
They look like they're a cartoon character.
They're the scariest damn thing going, dude.
What else can they eat?
They could eat anything they want to eat, including you. But I would say a crocodile is still higher on the food chain than a Komodo dragon, just because it's hard to kill.
What if it
crocodile.
was like a lion or a tiger or something like that?
I'd say the Komodo dragon bites you, man. You got that poison in you, dude. It's gonna fuck you up.
What about the grizzly?
Grizzlies are probably numero uno.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Over a lion and a tiger?
Yeah. I'd say they just weigh more. I say a tiger's tougher than a lion. Tigers are bigger than lions. I told you there's a place in India that has tigers chasing after you when you're on the water, jumping in the water, coming after you, and not to mention 25-foot crocodiles all trying to get you when you're just floating your little fucking canoe down one of those rivers in India. You got tigers that are gigantic swimming after you, dude. They are unbelievable athletes, and they're loners too. Tigers. They don't have that pride like a lion does. They'll get you.
The lions are hungry right now. I've seen a lot of videos. I'm watching a lot of nature shows right now. And the lions are hungry. And they're not eating, dude.
Oh, they're eating.
No, they're not.
They can't just eat all the time, man. It takes a lot out of a lion to get prey. Like, they bust their ass. They'll roll their ankle, man. Like, trying to
roll
chase,
their ankle.
Yeah, chase a gazelle who goes 100 miles an hour, and these lions are just going and going and going and going. Yeah, man.
He acts like the Lions, like Travis Kelce. Like, it just like rolls his ankle. Like, those things don't roll ankles.
Well, he came back in the game, didn't he?
He did.
Surprised Taylor Swift wasn't in Minnesota.
Was she not at the game?
No, she did. She skipped the Minnesota
You
trip.
think it's for publicity only?
Well, yes. A lot of it, yes. It's so weird.
You think
like,
he's getting played?
Dude, he's living the life.
So
even if she's like, go fuck, she's not that hot, okay? Yeah, I said it. I say he goes after that Dua Lipa, baby. Now that girl.
What do you mean?
She's sexy as shit.
Does she like him?
No, but she's like, if I'm Travis Kelce, like as far as sex symbols concerned, Taylor Swift's talented as hell. Her songs are cool, but she ain't that sexy.
Would you want to be
Dua
with someone?
Lipa,
Would
what's
you want
up
to be
with
with someone who's super famous?
Oh, hell no. Hell no. No.
Like way more famous and popular than you are?
Yeah, no doubt.
Cam could never handle that.
No way.
I thought it's about me.
I know.
It should always be about me.
Oh, no, you're not like that either, are you? No, I don't want to. I kind of do want it about me. You're right.
Yeah,
and so do you. Who are you kidding?
Come on, dude.
We both do. And I don't want to chase her around. I kind of, I guess I'm in a selfish way. No, I don't.
It'd be cool for a couple weeks, though, man. She's the hottest thing going.
She is.
It gives him a little notch in his. It gets some credibility.
He had credibility, man.
I know that, but
they're the America's team.
This is a different level.
I get you. Again, though, as far as sexy's concerned, I just think like there's so many hot girls out there. Taylor Swift's hard to deal with, probably. I don't know. She's whatever. It's all good, man. And NFL never. They just always have something.
Did you hear the noise again? See, I have it. I hear it nonstop, dude. I just hear this thing.
And he lives in a subdivision.
I send Cam the noise, dude, of this extinct monster that is terrorizing my neighborhood, terrorizing my house, and his response was "Get fucked."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
Well, don't waste my time.
You're so mad about it. He's
no,
like,
you wait. No. He wastes everybody's time.
He goes, "My house is haunted." Like
it is.
Like
I
he's
got
trying to have a
graveyard.
competition of whose house is more haunted.
You're making a competition out of it. You're showing everybody, like, look where I live. This is so hardcore. There's a marching band playing right across the street.
No,
yes, there is.
It wasn't even a home game.
Doesn't matter.
Wasn't even a home
game. You got
game.
schools by your house. You got traffic. And you're looking at nothing. And some little bird, probably choking on a worm, is screeching.
What did you say to me yesterday? You said, "I'm not going to lie. I don't know what that is."
No,
that sounded kind of scary.
It's some sort of bird. Ain't that big of a deal,
It's not a bird, dude. It only comes out at nighttime.
Okay, it's a Komodo dragon. My God.
Hey, break down what's going down in Israel right now.
Oh, dude, I cannot. Dude, Israel and Palestine? Are you kidding me? We're going to break that down? This poor kid set up these cameras here, man. Like, he's going to be here for 15 fucking hours. Well, I'm not touching that. Now, Hamas is straight up terrorists, baby. They're straight up terrorists. And people are going to be like, whoa, Israel did this back in the day. Yeah. Hamas wants like death on all Jews, They're hardcore.
Are they after the Jews? Is that what they're after?
Yeah, it's very complex. Just like the Ukraine war is very, very complex. There's so much gray area to so many different things.
Gray area, dude. It's all over video. They're like,
yeah, I know.
They're terrorizing people.
Of course they are.
Killing people.
I know, and it's
women
not
and
good.
Children. They got kids in cages.
Israel is our ally, and they're this little speck in the Middle East. that you just lit right in the middle of the Middle East, man.
I know some
Israel.
Americans are over there right now, man. I hope everybody's
some
safe.
died. Yeah.
I hope everybody's safe. They're sending like naval ships over there, rescuing people out of there.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. You asked me about it, man. I don't even want to try to dive into it. It's not good. There's too many wars going on. Not to mention China, Taiwan. You got Ukraine.
What's going on in China right now?
Well, they're trying to take just a lot, man. Everybody's like this right now. Like, what can I do? Let's see. Kim Jong-un's meeting with Putin. Da, 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 da. Like, a lot of weird shit's going on. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be, you can't worry.
Don't to minimize it.
Excuse me?
Well, I mean, like.
How about you do your homework on it, too? You just throw it at me, and then you start chirping me for me trying to break it down.
Well,
it's complex
not really
as shit.
Breakdown
Andy's
right
like, Andy's the kind of guy that says, somebody talks about Ukraine. He's like, I'm Ukraine, pro-Ukraine, let's go. And he puts a little flag up in his profile and stuff like that. There's a lot more that goes into it.
I don't have that.
There's a lot more that goes into it, man. There's a lot going on. And I think everybody's like, well, he's doing that, I'm going to do this. Well, he's doing that, I'm going to do this. It's not good. Do I worry about it too much?
I'm just saying,
but World War III would be...
I'm thinking about all the people there,
of course,
man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're having children's like stolen from them. Kids are in cages. If you want to hear like a good breakdown, because I thought you were going to like have like a strong opinion on this thing.
Well, it's war. It's war. They've been going at it for years and years and years.
Amari Stoudemire had
I saw that
a video that he put out that I thought was, see, that's a take. That's a strong take. I first met Amari back in the day when he was a high school senior, Cam.
I bet you guys hung out a lot.
He was he went straight from high school to the pros back in the day.
Yeah.
And he came here for a basketball tournament, and I emceed the event that he came here and played in. And he was very cool. This guy was making millions of dollars in high school, dude. He had to have been. And then he got to the NBA, made a bunch of money. Great player, great dunker. But I just like what he said, man. He came out and gave his opinion.
What'd he say?
Basically, like, all you politicians, people who cried about other political groups who said this and that, now you're not saying shit. And he basically said, fuck you. To all these other people.
Okay, what now? Okay, so
yeah,
he's
Amari
chirping.
Stoudemire.
So what basically he's saying, like, all you guys pro-Ukraine, now you're quiet about pro-Israel?
And other,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And other,
I don't get that.
And other groups who were pro this or pro that.
Hey, man, I'm anti-war is what I am. I'm not going to lie to you, though. After 9/11.
Because what he's saying is, hey, all y'all who are, pro this and pro that, there's a lot of different groups. You never had, like, your kids stolen from you. You never had kids in cages and shit like that. And now where are you at? You're not saying shit. So he said, basically, fuck you. That's what he said.
That's totally cool. I get that.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Listen, I'm paraphrasing. That's a direct quote.
I'm just anti-war.
Amari Stoudemire, a very good friend of mine.
I want to do what's best for the United States. And whatever that is, like, I'm for it. You know what I mean? Peace offerings, this, that, and the other. You want peace. No matter what. How do we
get
it's
peace?
Difficult.
Brody's sneezing back there. Did you hear that?
No, Brody will sneeze and he'll sneeze. Doesn't sip booze. Doesn't smoke weed.
Just
He's not snorting lines of yak.
No.
He just sneezes a lot. But we love him. What's up, Brody?
Allergies are actually very high this
I've been sneezy too.
Have you? Mm-hmm. Every morning. My house is freezing in the morning. I got the fires going right now.
Hey, listen. It's dark in the morning and it's getting cold. And that's a hardcore combination when you try to get up and you got to drive like 45 minutes, man. It's hardcore. Did you see Vegas's rings look pretty badass, dude?
A little too much.
Fuck that. I want to be gaudy as shit.
It's gaudy. That's not about gaudy.
I like it.
But it's like, listen, like, what's going to happen is like somebody's wife is going to be like, honey, I took the top off your ring and I dropped it. I don't know where it is. Like now it's all of a sudden it's becoming like a little toy. Like you screw off the top and like on the inside.
There's a lot going on.
On the inside, it's like, look at the fake, arena, T-Mobile Arena.
I like that.
It's cool. I like it too, but like, I don't know. Do we need to be like having like screw tops?
Yeah, man.
On your ring where you like take it off. Everyone wants to outdo one another.
Yes.
It's a beautiful ring, but I like it with just the top on there and everything, man. It's very detailed. And they paid tribute to those to the people who lost their lives in that.
Oh, in the shooting.
That's cool.
Man. Yeah, how do you not like that ring?
I know. I love the ring.
Well, you just said it.
Just don't screw it off.
Well, you have an
option. Then it turns into a pendant. Like,
well, don't give it to your child. If Ty's wearing it to practice and stuff, like don't do that. Mm-hmm. You can't even wear it anyway. It's so big. You can't put your hand in your pocket. You can't do a damn thing with it.
Oh, you can wear it.
You wouldn't be able to wear it. You'd be like this.
Chaser wears his every day.
Does he?
I think he does. His blues ring.
Chasse.
Chase, you're just at the gas station. Why do you have your Blues ring on? Just in case.
Oh, he's going to chirp back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's going to chirp you back.
I heard when he was coaching on the bench, he would like ask the referees if they want to like try it on and shit.
And then chirp them.
Probably.
And then chirp the refs.
I know, man. I know.
I want hockey season to start, by the way. Oh, y'all
Well,
out
it
there.
has. It has started.
No, it hasn't.
It basically has.
No, I want the regular season to start. This preseason stuff doesn't do much for me, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not the same as it used to be. But there's some good tilts and stuff like that. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I'm curious to see who's going to be the outlier, like who's going to step up, who's going to shock people. I don't know.
Well, somebody will.
I don't know.
will
Who's
say
that
this.
shock factor? Who's going to be the shock
Can
factor?
I give a shout out to Sidney Crosby first off?
Why would he do?
Well, he's fighting in preseason.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's kind of like, everyone's talking about this guy and that guy. I think he's just basically maybe sending a message a little bit too. Like, hey, I still play in the NHL. I'm still the big dick. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Or maybe he's just sticking up for his teammate.
Well, he is sticking up for his teammate.
You know what I mean?
That's what he was
Like a
doing
good
there too
captain
in a
should.
preseason game.
Yeah.
You know what
he
I'm
didn't throw
saying?
a punch or anything, but it's all
He
good.
did throw a punch.
Okay. He fell down pretty quick.
Well, what do you think he's going to do? Like go for a minute and a half and just like exchange bombs?
No, I figured that's exactly what he's going to do. Maybe throw a little bit of punch and fall down and stick up for your teammate. Somebody got rocked. It wasn't even that big of a deal.
I give him a lot of credit.
So do I. Sid's a real deal, dude. And no offense, and we said this last week, watching the con dog, Connor Bedard, and then going back and kind of watching Sidney Crosby, dude, he's got some work to do. I'm sorry. How many goals did he have in preseason? One empty netter. Come on. Was Sid not dominating preseason?
Everyone,
Andy.
But
you saw that clip. You know what I'm talking about?
Even Connor Bedard though, as impressive as he is, he just the preseason's not the regular season. It's only going to get harder, right?
Yeah.
So people are throwing out 90 points, 80 points. My prediction for Bedard is going to be the over/under 65 points.
That's about right.
And I think,
25 goals
for him to get to 90 points, this guy's going to have 45 to 50 goals. That's hard to do in the National Hockey League. You just think this guy's going to show up and just score 50 goals?
I mean, it's not like 2004 where there weren't that many goals. I think back in 2013, Jamie Benn had 87 points for the league. 87. Mm-hmm. Now guys are getting 115.
Same with
There's a lot more goals.
Taylor Hall.
Yeah, that's right. With the Devils?
And listen, he wouldn't have won the Hart, even though Taylor Hall is very close to my family. I hate saying this. Taylor Hall would not have won the Hart if Nathan McKinnon didn't get hurt that year. Remember he got hurt down the stretch?
Yeah, I do.
And that kind of opened the door for Taylor Hall.
We joke about Andy and Taylor Hall because Andy's son, little Ty, looks just like Taylor Hall. And about 7 years ago, Taylor Hall did come to St. Louis for a couple days, and I believe Andy was out of town. And
hey, man,
it is what it is.
That's
why Ty's toe dragging cougars already flying around. Got the big lips, It's just like Taylor Hall. It's so funny, man. He was around. He was around for a couple days. You were gone.
You like women with big lips?
Yeah, but not the fake ones.
Well, that's what they normally are.
No, I just like a natural woman with bigger lips.
Like monster lips.
No, Andy. Not monster lips. There's always a balance.
They get lip injections is what they do.
I don't want that. I can always tell too, man. You could tell these young girls are 25. I could tell they have surgery already. And I'm like, fuck. You look older. Mm-hmm. You look older because you just had surgery done to your lips, which an older woman would do, but yet you're young. Don't do that.
Does your wife do any plastic surgery?
No.
No Botox, nothing like that? Really?
No, but I'm sure she will eventually. You know what I mean?
Eventually.
Yeah, when she gets older, she's going to probably do something, of course. I mean, she's got her masks. She's got this routine she does. And
would you do Botox?
Fuck yeah. Make me handsome. I'm afraid when I got to hide my face. The camera's on me.
If you could have plastic surgery, right now, what would you do? If they said, hey, we'll do whatever you want.
I need to whiten my teeth because now we're gonna be on camera all the time. I'm gonna get my teeth bleached. I mean, my hair still a situation that's probably numero uno is the cul-de-sac in the back of my head. So that's probably number one. And then
is that plastic surgery? I'm talking a nose job.
No, my nose is
get
fine.
your cheeks lifted.
I need to stop drinking.
Lip injections.
My face is fucking fat.
Some people do some shit to like their neck and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not down with that, man. I'll just work out or starve myself for like 3 days, and then my neck will my chin will kind of go down a little bit. But you know what stops my saggy, fat face is booze. I drink too much. It directly affects the optics of your face.
So you can't spend money on plastic surgery and then drink the whole time because it just wasting your money.
How about we just get in shape? If I sat for 1 month and I did some hardcore workouts, including a lot of cardio, I would look completely different. I would look completely different.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you should try that.
I know.
Get the app, dude. Do it with first.
Keep hanging out with his uncle all the damn time, partying.
Well, that'll do it to you.
You know, but yeah, man, this is cool. Like, listen, all y'all out there too. Like, we're we want to stay in this little studio we have. We're gonna pimp this place out, so you might chirp the background.
What do you plan on doing to it?
I don't know.
Cam's
I'm on put some
like,
shite kicking stuff in this mug.
We're going to pimp this place out. He's got no plans for what he's wanting to do.
Well, we got a couple plans. We don't need, like, he knows what's up. No, it's all good, man. I just, like, you might chirp right now because we're just starting this. And Andy and I are finally, like, we got to a certain point. We've done everything we can do all the way up to this point. Everybody's like, dude, you got to do video. Yeah. And so that's what we're going to do. So chirp all you want, man, but you're going to see a lot of us. I'll start working out a little bit more. It forces us to start looking better. You're on camera all the fucking day, every day. You already look good. You're camera friendly. I'm not. I'm a mutant.
Cam wore his like camera shirt today.
It's my camera shirt.
You need to zip that up a little bit.
I need them to see my shit.
No one wants to see that.
No, the women folk like the chest hair, baby.
Hey,
they like that chest hair.
I want to listen. I know we're a few days behind, but I want to give a shout out to Chris Snow.
Oh yeah,
and the Calgary Flames organization. This guy had a incredible fight.
Yeah.
And obviously succumbed to a long battle with ALS. In fact, much longer than they initially suggested he would survive. Right?
Yeah.
I think they said he would survive or live to be, X number of months or whatever. And he way exceeded that. And he put up a great fight, brought a lot of awareness to ALS.
Yeah, man.
Same with his wife. So our thoughts are with them. Years ago, he was in town for, like, he was writing for, like, the Boston Herald or something like that. And I remember, and this is, because he used to be a writer before he started working in, like, hockey ops. Because I think he went and worked for the Minnesota Wild before he worked for the Calgary Flames. And I drove him home from the Blues practice facility, their old practice facility, all the way to downtown St. Louis, and we had a great conversation and got to know him from that particular day on. And then all of a sudden, like, next time I saw him, he's working for the Minnesota Wild. So very smart guy, and obviously worked for a couple of different teams, man. But the entire hockey world,
a little shout out,
they got behind him in his fight, man. So our thoughts are with the Snow family for sure, and everybody who was close with him, man.
Is he related to Garth, who we just had on?
I don't believe so.
Okay. You didn't think about that? I mean,
if he's
Snow is somewhat of a unique name. I know Jon Snow and Game of Thrones.
There's been a lot of Snows. You act like there's only one or two Snows. Like, they're not all related. I don't think he's related to Garth Snow. JT Snow was a former baseball player, very good player.
Yeah.
His dad actually was a legendary football player for the Rams, and actually here in St. Louis was the color commentator for a long, long time.
Get right out of town.
Yeah, so there's a lot of Snows.
Get right out of town.
There's a lot of Snows, but I don't think they're all related. Also, Wendy Plow, man.
Oh, yeah.
Wendy Plow.
Yep. No shout
Now, she had battled cancer for a long, long time. Yep. Wendy is the wife of longtime NHL executive Larry Plow.
Love him to death.
Who worked for the New York Rangers for a long, long time before coming here and working with the St. Louis Blues. I mean, he was with the Hartford Whalers back in the day. He was coaching. He played for the U.S. Olympic team, I think, back in like 1960 or something like that.
Boston guy.
His son, Steve Plow, man, has been a longtime scout. Used to do some coaching and stuff like that. So, again, Wendy went through an awful lot. When Larry was the GM here, she had gotten sick, and she overcame that. And then, things kind of took a turn for the worse. I heard about that maybe a week ago or so. So,
that's
man,
tough.
we're thinking about Wendy, awesome person, and Larry Plow, one of my favorite people, who's now working with the Arizona Coyotes, by the way.
Is he?
I don't know if he had that maroon suit on at the draft. I don't know if he was like
one of those
part of that pack.
I don't mind that. I think that's kind of
cool. No, it was cool.
Larry was really good to me, by the way, when I played here in the Blues.
Yeah.
He was so good to me.
Great human being.
Yep.
One of the nicest people you will ever meet.
Mm-hmm.
and did a great job, man. The Blues are very competitive for a long, long time when he was here running the show. So all the best, man, to the Plo family as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Larry was an awesome guy to me. Still is an awesome guy one way or the other. But I'm glad you brought those two out, man, because I would have totally forgot about that. So, but yeah, man, hockey season's coming, dude. Like, it's here. Like, let's go. About damn time, dude. Let's get going. I'm curious to see what the Blues are going to do. I'm curious to see what the Chicago Blackhawks are going to do. I'm curious to hear about what's going to happen out east. That's where a lot of them, the good teams are. It's going to be a clusterfuck over there, boy. You know, with Carolina. What's Florida going to do? How about Tampa without Vasi? The Islanders, do they have enough scoring? Which everybody's scoring. It's going to be a high-powered scoring year, in my opinion. If they can't score goals, are they going to be in the mix? What's Pittsburgh up to? You know what I mean? New York, where you at? What's up? Are the Devils the front runners?
Are you just naming every team in the league?
Like, no, those are all good teams. Yeah. Those are all the teams that are in the mix. Not Philly.
What about Tampa Bay?
Boston, what are you doing?
What about Tampa?
Tampa, I don't know. Are they going to pick some kid up off waivers? An extra golie? Somebody that's kind of proven maybe no.
Malcolm Subban's on waivers today.
They need to figure something out. You know
we'll know in about an hour and a half or so if he gets picked up.
Malcolm? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just so there's a lot of things going on.
But he's a guy who obviously has some experience, can maybe hold it down until
hold it down, baby,
until Vasi gets back. I don't know. I look at like Tampa Bay, man. At some point, although they've got so much talent, and they're all relatively in their prime too. They don't have a lot of old guys, you know. Stamkos is a little bit older right now, but like Braden Point and Kucherov and Vasilevsky, who obviously is hurt. And Hedman,
Cernak,
and Hagel, Cirelli, like they're all like really good players, man, who are in their prime.
Yeah,
Sergachev. So Tampa Bay should be good, but eventually it runs out. We've seen that, with teams like Boston, and although they had a great year last year, I'm just saying, like they're a cup contender for a long time. Eventually, they kind of fade away. Pittsburgh. Washington, we've seen what happened with St. Louis.
They're getting old.
Yeah. L.A. had happened to, Chicago had happened to, but those teams won multiple Stanley Cups. If you can get multiple Stanley Cups, man, I mean, it can still set you up for a long, long time. You can almost feel okay about retooling a little bit and kind of being in transition. But I think Tampa Bay still has a chance to be really,
yeah, you could be right on that. Was it bad? About 8 weeks with Vasi, a little back surgery.
I mean, they don't have their goaltender. Goaltending's everything.
And they're not going to play as loosey-goosey, I'll tell you that. They're going to have to tighten some shit up. And
so whoever they put in there, if you're not stopping the puck, man,
I don't know.
Then Tampa won't be good.
Well, Tampa, man, like, think about, like, those guys are all worn out. Mm-hmm. It's been a long run.
They're fine.
Okay, whatever, Andy. Like, yeah, I know you know more than anything about it because you've been in the mix. But no, like,
are they still worn out?
The COVID stuff, it's just well, obviously Vasilevsky's so worn out that he's got to get a fucking back surgery.
Well, he was hurt.
He got hurt probably from playing all the goddamn time.
Yeah, maybe.
How many extra games did he play compared to fucking, other teams? Like a lot more.
Yeah.
Over the past 5 years. That's tag on 20 extra games a year.
But I will say this, man. They had the pause. Then he went to the bubble, and they kind of, did that thing.
God.
The following season, it was a shortened season.
Yeah. No,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you were comparing it to everybody else.
Yeah.
They still played more tthan everybody else. It's all good. I mean, no excuses, man. You still got talent. But we'll see. No one even talks about Florida anymore. Like, where are they going to be?
Because they're hurt.
On
the back end.
They're banged up pretty good.
So, I still think they're good enough to be
Carolina
very
front runner.
Competitive, man.
Like the Devils are freaking loaded, dude. They are loaded with young talent. That's going to be an interesting to see what happens with them. Of course, Toronto with Bertuzzi. Was he playing with Bertuzzi playing with your boy Mitchie Marnie and Austin Matthews? Like, okay, are they going to compliment each other?
Bertuzzi doesn't put any tape on the.
I saw his knob.
On the knob.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
Well, it's hard. Like nobody does that.
Except for him.
That's like in PE class, you do that.
Except for him.
Yeah, he's the only one.
Yeah, well, good for him.
What makes you want to do that? You think he wants to be different, or like he just is like, I like it without tape?
No, Andy. No, he won't. He feels better gripping the stick without tape. Sometimes tape,
but that doesn't make sense.
Okay. Well, tell him what you do,
Bert.
And maybe they'll. Yeah, tell him what you do.
I'm just saying to say it feels better.
Hey, you should message him and be like, hey, Bert, listen, it's Andy here. Here's what I do with my tape on my knob. Why don't you try this? I toe dragged my son the other day in 7 and Up fucking practice.
Hey,
text him that.
Do you know that some of these kids, there was a kid out at a practice recently, like a 15, 16-year-old kid, And he sees these tape jobs of some of these guys. He had one little strip of tape on the blade of his stick.
Yoink.
And it's like, well, why are you doing that? Like, what's the benefit of doing that? But they see this from guys like Bertuzzi and whatever. I just don't want that to start being a trend.
Well, how about you try out what you want? You know how I started using my tongues out? I used to do tongues out.
You weren't the first one to do that.
Yeah, I know. You know how I got it? Stevie Ott, when I got to Windsor.
What do you mean?
I used to have my shin pad over my tongue in juniors in St. Louis. And then I went to Windsor and I saw Stevie Ott go tongues out and he wrapped it. And I liked his style. And I'm like, I'm going to try this. I tried it and I loved it because of Stevie Ott. You know what I mean? So that's what you do. If it works for you, it works. Just because it doesn't work for you doesn't mean it's not going to work for Tyler Bertuzzi. Not much works for you when it comes to that. You know what I mean? So I don't know what they could take away from you doing something and you being like, hey, look what I did. They're like, no. You know what I mean?
It works for Bertuzzi. He's got his own style, man. I actually like his style.
Yeah, he's cool,
and
man.
I've always liked him, even going back to the day when he was in Detroit. He refused to get the vaccine.
Yeah, I know. Good for him.
Remember?
He's like, fuck you.
Couldn't play in Canada.
He's like, fuck you.
They allow you in Canada now, don't they?
I don't know.
Now you're allowed in.
Probably. No, like, well, now you can. Well, what changed?
Hey, congrats to Zegras, by the way, and Drysdale.
Yeah.
They finally got that done.
Yep. Way to go.
That was a pointless holdout. Not necessarily for him, but like from the team standpoint.
Why you fuck with him? Just offer him that. Why are you fucking with him?
I don't know.
Maybe for this reason, because he still didn't sign, 5.5?
5.7.
Okay, so this so you know, this is where we're going to negotiate. So I'm going to go on the low end of this, and he tweets it out. But he didn't. I thought he was going to get 6.5, and when I saw it was in the 5s, I'm like, ooh. Like, okay,
but that's fine.
That's fine.
It's almost like I think he wanted probably a shorter term deal. If you're not going to go to the max, then give me a short term deal.
Yeah, let me prove it. 3 years.
It's like a bridge deal. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's okay.
You know,
but I do think he was thinking maybe $1 million and a half more AVV. And you didn't get it. And you know what? That's fine. You're okay, dude. You're still a superstar, man. You go out and you have 3 damn good years. You put 70, 80, 90 points up. Shit. You're going to sign a monster ticket.
But you saw that coming. I just feel like Pat Verbeek is like an old school GM, even though he's relatively inexperienced as a GM. He's not inexperienced as a hockey executive.
He knows what's up.
And I think he knows what he wants. He knows what he likes. I think he's going to have that Anaheim team rolling in a couple of years once he gets it all together. But, I feel like he and Zegras would not be like a match made in heaven.
No, I know.
You know, that's a difficult player for a guy like Pat Verbeek to really get on board with, you know?
Little ball of hate.
Yeah, a little ball of hate.
Big
man.
Patty Verbeek, baby. Like he didn't back down from anybody. He's got his style, man. He's got his attitude. But Zegras, you're not the same. Like Zegras is Zegras. Like he is who he is. But he's a hell of a player. And if you tighten up some things in Anaheim, like he's going to be even better of a player. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of running the show. Like he kind of needs somebody to calm things down on the bench and stuff like that. Like Getzlav gone. But I'm rooting for him, man. He's a good dude. We like his daddy.
He's harmless, dude.
He's harmless. He's cool.
He's harmless, and he's good for the game.
How about Rasmus Dahlin getting 11 a year? God dang, D-Dog.
Hey, they're committing to their players.
They're big boys. You got Tuck. What do you got? Our boy.
You got Tage Thompson
Tagey.
On a very team-friendly deal. It's like one of the best deals,
7.
one of the best contracts in the league.
I know. You're right, dude.
So maybe they overpay Dahlin a little bit, although
it's a lot of money.
$11 million, man.
So you're paying Tage Thompson 7 a year. You're paying Dahlin 11. That's a big gap, Andy.
It's a big gap.
Andy, that's a big gap.
Yeah.
Wow. Can I give a shout out?
Yeah.
To a couple in Australia that listen to us.
Oh, really?
On an everyday basis. And I did a cameo for him the other day, Andy. And then he sends me video of him on his farm in Australia.
Oh.
And he drives a truck.
What kind of farm?
Fucking badass, shite-kicking farm, dude.
Well, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Like a kangaroo farm?
No, I think it's grain and wheat and whatnot. And oh, no, it's a dairy farm. I'm sorry.
I was going to say.
It's a dairy farm, my bad. And he showed me everywhere where he lives and stuff like that. And I go, why are you a hockey fan? And he came from the Czech Republic. And he moved to Australia as a kid. But he's got the accent.
You know,
fucking dingoes.
A lot of people do that, you know.
Yeah, I know. Like, they get the fuck out of
Czech Republic
Eastern
and
Europe.
Australia is kind of like a. In fact, Nathan Walker, who's on waivers today.
Yeah, I saw him.
Who's like the only Blues or the only NHL player in the league that's from Australia. Yet the NHL goes to Australia, but they don't invite the player who's from Australia. It's like, that doesn't even make any sense. Yeah. Like, how do you have the league go to Australia? You have a player in the league from Australia.
I know.
But the player from Australia does not go and play in Australia.
Hey, what are your kids going to be for Halloween?
I don't know yet, because here's the deal.
Taylor and fucking Kelsey? Is it going to be that?
Me and my wife might be that.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
You look nothing like... You both look nothing like each other.
That's not true. I could like.
Well, he's an athlete and he's big. You know, like she could look like Taylor. If she wanted to.
Can't look like Kelsey. He wanted to be Joe Burrow.
Oh.
But I was so mad at Joe Burrow for the way that he was playing that I just was not going to let him be Joe Burrow. But now, actually, Burrow had a good game yesterday, so I'm considering letting him be Joe Burrow. But I got to get on it because I got to get that jersey. So I thought about letting him be Kelsey. I thought it'd be kind of cool if he was Kelsey.
That'd be cool.
But the only issue is I don't trust if something's going to go down between now and then, like some type of controversy, or I could just see this completely backfiring on Travis Kelce. I hope it doesn't. I like Kelce. He's pretty buttoned up, man. His brother's pretty cool, too.
Yeah, Jason, I like him.
They got a great podcast going.
Yeah, they're cool. I like them. I like Jason more than Trav. I think Trav sold out with the Moderna shot and all that stuff. Like, he can make so much.
Why do they call him Mr. Pfizer?
Or Pfizer shot. Why do you think? Because he's on every commercial getting a jab like, hey, and he probably didn't. Yeah.
He's on commercials doing that?
Yeah, he is.
Is that why Aaron Rodgers called him out?
Yes. Don't you pay attention to why things happen in stories? That's exactly why.
Because he got a shot?
No, because he's like their brand marketer.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I got my third one.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because like you're anti-vax and everything.
No, not completely. I'm anti-forcing the vax.
Okay,
if you want to get a vax, my parents got one. I told my mom and dad, they both got one.
So if Pfizer came to you and they said, Cam, we're going to pay you X number of dollars to get the vaccine, and we're going to put you on TV during commercials, and you're going to endorse Pfizer, and we're going to call you Mr. Pfizer. Are you not doing it?
You're goddamn right I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I don't have 80 in the bank. Mm-hmm. I don't have 80 in the bank. Yeah, I'll do anything. I'll suck down Bud Light. I'll fucking hang out with whatever. You pay me, I'll probably do it. I will do anything for coin. But I don't have any money.
Like what?
I don't know. Anything? What wouldn't I do? I was thinking about a Kate thing. Now, would I want Kate to be on OnlyFans? No. But would I want Kate to be on Feet Finder, where all the creeps stare at her feet and they pay? I'd be like, fuck yeah. Like that kind of stuff.
You want your wife doing that?
Feet Finder? Yeah. If she's making $10,000 a month, like that girl from St. Clair High School that did OnlyFans, and all the students found out, and she resigned. Yeah, the girl from St. Clair.
Teacher?
Yeah, the teacher.
There's
her and her husband.
There's a lot
get fucked by other couples come in there and they film it on OnlyFans. They all get fucking rocked.
She was a teacher?
Yeah, she's a teacher at St. Clair.
There's been a lot of teachers who have been having like relationships with students and stuff like that.
That's happening.
I never understand how that goes down. Like at school. Like you ever like fall in love with your teacher?
Fuck
like,
yeah.
When you're in high school, like would you have it in you to like get to that point where you're having a relationship with the teacher?
If you're a 17-year-old dude, like I was already through puberty, man. Like, God, if a teacher wanted me, I'm like, oh my God, yeah. I was in love with every teacher that was under 50. That was a woman.
Really?
Every single one. Yeah, even if they're ugly, I was like fucking dying. I just wanted an older woman, big time, when I was young, yeah. If you guys know, you know. Like when you're young, you want older women.
Even if they weren't attractive, you were.
Yeah, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Really? Yeah, I didn't have that.
I know you didn't, Andy.
The teachers that I had like were not.
It just was a.
You weren't thinking about like hanging out with them.
Oh God,
like that. Okay.
Everyone, man, big time.
I mean,
big time.
I don't really believe you with that. I gotta be. No matter what they look like, you just had. I mean,
if they were mutants, I'd be like, no. Well, but if they were normal looking at that, I was
most people had teachers that were not like
Andy. I was so horny, dude. When I was that age, like you are full of piss and vinegar and testosterone. And, you know, like you're just starting to get laid, 16, 17. I'm just starting to get my confidence. And I felt like I had more confidence with 45-year-old women than with an 18-year-old girl that's like, hey, come with me. My friends are here. I'm like, no. I want to hang out with that woman.
I thought it was weird in high school. Like, first off, it's always weird when you see your teacher, like, outside of school. Like, you just see the teacher. It's always awkward. The guy who was the interpreter for the hearing impaired, like, started showing up at all the parties and stuff like that. Like, the interpreter. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing here? Like,
creeping, man.
Yeah, most people thought it was weird that he was there.
Why would you let him in?
He just, like, would show up.
I remember when... at the parties in high school, man, like all the good-looking girls in like 8th grade, we go to a party in 8th grade, and like a dude from like junior and Eureka would drop off all the cute 18-year-olds or 8th
What did he
graders.
drop them off
with their car? We'd be like, "What is this? What is this guy doing? He's a junior in high school, and he's dropping off the good-looking 8th graders at an 8th grade party. Like, you fucking nerd." Oh yeah. I remember that. I'm like, what's this douche doing? And he hang out for a bit.
And how old is he?
He was like a junior. He's at least 16, 17.
That's weird, man.
Fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
I go, you don't have a high school party to go to? You're you pick these girls up? You're a fucking nerd. You had to, wait. You picked up 3 8th graders and drove them all the way the fuck out
I don't
here?
know what's going on where
psycho.
you live, dude. Like, we didn't have any of that. You know?
You grew up
No,
cool, man.
we just didn't have that. Like,
you're better than me.
Out where you are, like, you guys are just doing like weird, like
I know.
weird shit. Like,
you're better than me, dude. You know?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Yeah, there was a lot of weird ass shit, dude.
Yeah,
big time. That's why you want to watch Chloe. You know, keep an eye on her, dude.
Okay, I know.
I'm dead serious.
Well, I know.
Because sometimes you're a little aloof with shit, and you'll be like, "Hey, go ahead, pick her up." I'm like, "Whoa! This guy smells like fucking dope."
I would never.
This guy smells like fucking dope. If he's picking up Chloe, dude, you better go check his car out.
So listen,
you'll be like, "Hey, take her." No,
hey,
go smell his fucking ass.
The other day,
he might smell like booze.
Dude, nobody's picking her up, dude. She's 12.
Eventually they are. Eventually they're going to.
The other day, I go Friday night. I'm at a buddy of mine's house, and there's probably like 10 of us there. We're all just hanging out. His daughter says she's having a few people over, and she's turning 16 this weekend.
Oh boy,
dude! The entire school shows up.
Oh boy,
I'm talking like 150 kids in the backyard.
Nope.
All over the front of the yard, all over the driveway, cars parked up and down the neighborhood. I'm literally walking out there, like, just being like, all right, you guys all got to get in the backyard or something. Like, what is going on here?
They're sure they listen to you.
Well, they're trying to
They probably thought you were a student.
They're trying to get into house.
That's terrible. Andy, that's god awful.
Probably stealing things.
Probably.
So,
are you kidding?
So then, like, a couple of kids go into, like, one of the bedrooms. They had to, like, kick them out of the bedroom, dude.
God.
Like, it was, like, a total disaster.
Don't ever have
total
that. If
disaster.
that ever happened, you call me, dude.
Okay, but let me ask you this, though.
I'll do nothing.
Because back in the day, I don't think this is that unusual now where kids have parties where the parents are home. Where when I was a kid, like, the parents would never be home, dude. It's amazing that people were out of town as often as they were. Whenever you went to a high school party or a party at, like, a different school, whatever, like, there was never any parents, never any adults there.
My parents were always home whenever
Really?
I had them. Yep.
Would you have parties?
Oh, God, yeah.
I had a ton of parties, dude.
Trash my house. My parents, dude, a nuclear warhead can go off right next to their room and they wouldn't wake up.
But nobody would ever be home, actually.
Huh?
One time my sister stayed with us. She was older. And she actually called the cops because, like, people wouldn't leave the house.
Yeah, man, that's how
to get everybody out.
It's a fucking snowball effect, man. Like, they'll find out where to go. Like, that's what everybody's thinking. Like, it's Friday night. Like, everybody, Cam's parents, let's go to this. You know, it just happens so fast. Even before, like, technology and all that shit, man. The rumor gets out, dude. You got 50 swinging dicks coming.
Once the word gets out, dude,
creeping everything.
Everybody's there.
Oh my God! Dude, they would go right into your room, and I'm not even going to say what they're going to do. You know exactly
what are they doing in there?
In your room? They're going to the top drawer to see what's going on in the top drawer.
Oh,
not
no,
yours. They don't care about your underwear. They don't care about your underwear.
They're opening the drawers.
Yes, taking her underwear, and then they're going to creep into your bathroom.
Oh my God!
And they're gonna open that bathroom door.
I really hope
they're gonna look at all your little pill bottles. And
they're not.
Oxys, baby.
They're looking at, like, jewelry and stuff like that too. And cash.
Cash, booze.
A friend of mine just had
all that stuff.
Their cleaning lady stole $800 from them.
Yeah, well, you're gonna find out. Like, if you have $800.
And they admitted to doing it, and then they asked if they could still clean the house.
Yeah, and they said no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, that was an easy one.
Would you press charges?
I want my $800 back.
What if they didn't have it?
I don't know.
Would you press charges?
It depends if she had 5 kids. Just tell me, I'll hook you up. Like, I'm already paying you.
Hook you up with what? $800?
Well, I'll hook you up every time. Like, maybe I'll give you $50 extra this time, and I'll give you 50 extra something. Like, what do you need? You got 5 fucking kids, and you're alone. You're alone because your hubby left you, and now you have 5 kids you have to take care of. Maybe she stole because they're starving. Like, I don't know. That's still not right, and I'll still never use her again. But if that's the case, like, come up to me and ask me, and I'll take care of you. But if you steal my fucking money when I'm not home, we have problems.
Did you ever steal anything?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
Who'd you steal from?
Oh, when I was young, I stole oxys and
oh my
painkillers.
God.
Oh, fuck.
You're stealing pills?
From my
I thought
grandmother,
you were gonna
from
say,
my
like,
parents,
you stole
from
like
my neighbors,
like a baseball card from
my buddy's
house,
parents.
a toy.
No.
How old are you when you're doing this?
16, 17, 18,
okay,
19, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Younger than that.
Maybe
so like,
15,
so you
14,
were the guy. So listen, if I had you over at my house when you're 20 years old, like, you're stealing.
I'm
from
looking
me?
through your I'm looking through your medicine cabinet so fast your head will spin.
Do you still do that?
Deep in that? No, I don't even think about painkillers anymore.
Do you steal anything else?
No, I go into my
Are you
buddy.
stealing watches?
No, none of that. No, just painkillers for the most part. Not money or anything. Just paying. I'm just going to look through your medicine cabinet. Yeah, I did that. That's still illegal as shit. But nowadays, I'll go to my buddy's house and, I'll take their beer, but I'll also go into their cabinet and I'll look through all their like junk food because they have 3 kids, and I'll take their fruit roll-ups.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take their Dunkaroos.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll eat them, and then I'll put the box back that's empty, like an asshole.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Are you one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I'll have my
you
buddies
can't
over
do
all
that.
fucking day, and I'll make them food all day, and I'll make them Bloody Marys, so it all reciprocates.
I had you over at my old house. The first time you came in, like, you literally, like, I didn't know where you went. You're like, you're searching through my entire house.
Well, I looked through your fridge first.
You were going through my fridge.
No, I'll look through that. I didn't go through your medicine
Cam
cabinet.
would be like, what is
or
that?
her underwear. I didn't do that. That's old Cam. But I will go through your fridge just to see what's up.
And you were
and you had nothing. You had nothing in there. I
not
opened it up.
true.
It's nothing.
That's not true.
It's a lettuce, an old malt beer from that was like 5 years old, and it was outdated. And I'm like, fuck.
It's not true.
Yes, it's true.
Got 3
And I look through
kids,
your
dude.
cabinet, and there's nothing. I'm like, damn, these poor kids don't eat. Like, you don't even have any junk food for them. I was waiting for some fruit goddamn roll-ups.
We try to limit the junk food.
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you at all with that
But we
shit.
got a lot of food in the house. I will say that.
Oh,
man.
a ton, I bet. Tons. You don't eat anything, Andy.
What do you mean?
I've seen Andy eat one time, and it was a painful experience
Why?
because he didn't enjoy it. It was really, I felt bad for Andy. I told you guys we went out to dinner, just badass. One of the nicest steakhouses, Alwyn Oak.
It's not a steakhouse.
Okay, whatever. It's a
I
restaurant.
go there all the time. It's my favorite restaurant.
I know. But we went
And
there.
we eat all the time there.
And we just had steaks and just food. And Andy, I just felt bad. Like, I love Andy, you know, like, he's my business partner. I know what he likes and what he doesn't like. And he was just in an uncomfortable situation there. I felt bad a little bit.
That's
there
not
was
true.
meat. There's so much meat in front of him.
A ton of food that night.
He didn't know what to do. And his wife's eating the meat. Like, I enjoy it. And Andy's just like, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good.
Okay, guys.
Can we take this away from me now? I felt bad for you. I'm like, damn, man. You know, we're all enjoying it. But there was hummus for you. It was all good.
Dude, we had a lot of shit.
Yeah. Veggies and stuff.
Don't be afraid to eat something nice and good food.
I made some damn good food over the weekend, baby. Damn good food.
You're at your dad's house.
No, he was at my house. I'm going to my dad's for Halloween, though.
Oh, I was going to invite you over for Halloween.
Man, it's a Tuesday, man. I'm not going anywhere besides my dad's.
What do you mean?
I think it's on Tuesday. That sucks.
Do you think Halloween should always be on a Saturday?
Yes. Just like Thanksgiving. Who cares about the 31st?
Thanksgiving's not on Saturday.
Thanksgiving's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the last weekend in November. Every fucking time.
But like Christmas can fall on a Wednesday.
Yeah, but that's you get 2 days off. Like you could still like balance that. Halloween's like the kids are up. They're so excited. They're all jacked up on basically cocaine is what it is.
What do you mean?
Sugar. It's basically
Is
cocaine
sugar
for
cocaine?
kids. For kids, it is.
It's like crack, yeah.
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 Well, crack, you want to mix it up with different
Do you
things.
think crack is more addictive than cocaine?
Yes.
Like, what makes a crackhead versus like a cokehead?
Chemicals, man. Crack, dude. You come down off that hardcore. Crack lasts for hours and hours. You do a fat line, a gangster line right here at cocaine, you'll be done in 20 minutes.
Like that guy who stabbed that activist in New York City.
Oh, my God. The activist that said there's no crime and preaches about no crime and preaches.
Is that
and
what he was preaching
And the guy,
about?
the guy that died was chirping people that didn't get vaxxed, that died of COVID and stuff like that. And all of a sudden he's like, there's no crime. And all of a sudden he gets stabbed by this psychopath 50 times in front of his wife.
Like an 18-year-old.
In front of his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, and horror.
She wouldn't give a description.
She wouldn't give he was an African American, and she wouldn't even say it.
Because of their activism?
She's a psycho. That's psychotic. And he gets fucking rocked, stabbed 50 fucking times in front of her.
50?
Look like it. He's like,
I couldn't watch the whole thing.
Dude.
I watched the blurred out version.
There's so much crime going on, man. Like, you can't deny it.
Was that in New York City?
Yeah.
What are they doing out there at 4 o'clock in the morning?
I don't know. They were at the bus stop at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, Jesus. Dressed up. And the guy confronts him. You have no idea how to defend yourself. And you're going to confront this guy? Like, what are you doing? Get away. You're with your girl. Get the fuck away from him.
I think that guy was messing with somebody else ahead of them.
Yeah,
and then he like called
I'm going to do
out.
something. I'm an activist. He'll listen to me. He's part of my group. No, he's not. He doesn't like you.
You know, listen, it's just the optics. I'm sure she was very frightened. She was probably in shock. But she didn't she didn't react the way a lot of other people would react.
Andy, I agree with you. Very odd. It's like your activism trumps your love of your boyfriend's death. You're a fucking psycho.
I don't know if it was her boyfriend. Was it her boyfriend?
Yeah, dude. You're a psycho. I'm not going to give you a description of him. What? This guy's going to go kill somebody else.
You don't think it was staged or anything like that?
No, dude. He died. Dude.
Yeah.
No. And there are things that are staged. Don't get me wrong. Listen, don't even believe everything you see, man. Like, there's crazy shit going on. Even with the war stuff, too, man. You don't know what people will send a video of the war. They're like, wow, this is happening. No, that's a video game. Nope, that's a video game.
Do you know?
Oh, look at this statement by da-da-da. No, that happened 6 years ago.
Yeah. No, that was not staged. You don't want to know what I do think is staged? Is when, these kids run out on the soccer pitch to go see Messi, and, the security, grabs him.
The one guy?
And then
the Marine?
Yeah, but then
Navy
he
SEAL?
takes him over to Messi during the game. Messi signs his jersey and gets a picture taken with him during the game. That's staged.
I don't know what you're saying.
No, that's staged.
Okay, that's staged.
Yeah, the kid
petty.
ran on the field.
It's petty, dude.
Why wouldn't other kids run on the field then?
They do. People run on the field all the fucking time, man. They run on the field all the
There's
time.
an obsession with that guy.
With Messi, he's the most
Yes.
popular player in the world. No shit, there's a fucking obsession. He's the most popular athlete in the world. The most popular athlete in the world. More than your boy LeBron. More than your girl Brittany Griner. More than, Liberty and the Aces played last night. How'd you like that?
Well, I mean, listen, it was
Andy loves the WNBA.
It was
so
a back
much.
and forth affair.
Fucking badass. Did they dunk? Anybody dunk?
Listen, you had there were several dunks.
Oh, I bet. They slammed it down, didn't they?
I saw some
What a
dunks,
bad
man.
product.
I saw some. I
It's a
saw
bad product.
some amazing plays, man.
Bad product.
But the zone defense, the Liberty
Yeah,
play,
they're pretty dang good.
That'll frustrate you.
Pretty dang good.
That'll frustrate you.
That's funny, man.
So who's in the final right now?
Liberty and the Aces, sir.
Yeah.
How'd you not know that? In fact, you're making me uncomfortable.
I love the.
You don't like women's sports? How dare you? How dare you?
BG though, she's established. She's got a left hand going now too, man.
I just can't stop thinking about that video of her in the backyard.
Oh my God! Stop saying that.
I'm sorry.
You got to stop saying that. Was photoshopped.
It pops in my head every time I think of Brittany Griner.
That was photoshopped.
A little awkward. That's all. No big deal. You
keep saying that pops into your head.
It does.
Like, stop allowing that to pop.
I can't help it.
That should never pop into your head.
It does, dude. All the time. Like,
oh my God.
I know.
Ryan Hartman signs a contract extension, by the way.
Cool.
Yeah. So that was good. Billy Guerin's locking up a lot of his players, man. People are kind of on the fence there with the Minnesota Wild, though. You look at them, they got a lot of talent
Or whatever.
Can they be pushed for that third spot?
Breezy and fucking Suter
They don't play there anymore. You know that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
They might as well because they're paying them.
That's true.
Yeah. How much? $15 million? Like, God, how can you even try to compete? How can you compete when you have those monster
What are you talking about? They got a good team.
I know, but you're still like, there's such a big gap of missing money and revenue.
It's dead money that they have on the books.
Dead.
Yeah.
Like huge chunks of dead money.
But you know what? You'd probably rather have the dead money than have both those guys in the dressing room, honestly.
I agree with that, and that's fine. It's just hard to say that a Minnesota team's going to compete when they're just behind the eight ball.
Well, I think a lot of people are looking at them as the third best team in the division. That's why I ask you that,
Dallas, Colorado.
Do you know who's in the Central Division?
Should it be? Yeah, I don't know.
St. Louis would probably be the one team, maybe Nashville.
Is Nashville? They got some dead money, too, going on, with Johansson and Duchesne.
I know.
That dead money fucks you up. Just remember that when all these older cats want these long-ass deals, man, like, you got that dead money hanging over you. The salary cap's been stagnant for the most part. It's hard for you to be competitive, man, without having.
Is there dead money with Johansson? Was he bought out or traded to Colorado?
I think there's dead money on the books in Nashville, a good amount.
Duchesne got bought out.
Yeah,
but that was his stupid signing to begin with.
I know. I don't know what his deal is.
Hope he doesn't bring down Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas might be pretty dang good.
I like Dallas.
So do I.
But they got to turn it over to those young kids, man.
Yeah, I know. Sagan and Ben can only do so much.
No,
they're a good leadership group.
It's Wyatt Johnston, it's Haskin, and it's Robertson, obviously. It's not necessarily in that order either. So.
No, it's not. They're okay. Mm-hmm. How do you think Winnipeg's going to do?
Not very good.
You don't think so?
I just don't have faith in Winnipeg. But I could be wrong about that. They got a hell of a goaltender, and they've got some good players.
People think Edmonton Oilers
but
are front runners.
Maybe Winnipeg, by getting rid of Wheeler and some of these guys, man, maybe you never know. Not that Wheeler's a bad guy, but you know what? You get veteran guys who have been around for a long time kind of running the show. Eventually you move on from some of these guys, and it just opens up opportunities and allows other people to grow within the organization, So
if you had to pick right now, Andy, Ottawa making the playoffs or Buffalo?
I just don't trust Buffalo.
You trust Ottawa?
I closer than Buffalo.
Okay. Just asking.
And I think Buffalo's a hell of a team, man. They got great players in the back end. They've got superstars all over. I love Tuck. I love their coach. Their goaltender. There's a lot of pressure on the goaltender.
Yeah, I know.
I could never trust goaltending. I got to see how the goaltender plays. Levi should be really good. He's got a lot of talent. But you just never know. You can't just automatically assume. Buffalo, to me, is like Buffalo until they show me otherwise. Like, make the playoffs. You haven't gotten in the playoffs in like 10, 11 years.
That's a long time.
So just get in. Ottawa, even as bad as they've been, eventually, like, as they always show up every once in a while, and have like a playoff run or something, But, Stützle, I think, is a elite. He will be a superstar. By the end of the year, you'll be calling him a superstar. 90 points plus for Tim Stützle. Okay? Brady, star. Norris, they get him healthy, whatever. A really good player. They got good players in the back end. Maybe goaltending is going to be a little bit of a question. I just trust Ottawa a little more than I do Buffalo. And maybe Buffalo's going to be great. I don't know, but we say that every year. Be great, and then I'll jump on the bandwagon with the Sabres.
I just want some new teams in the mix, man. I want new blood in the mix.
You'll probably see some of that.
I hope Ottawa does. They're fun, dude. I like Brady. Ain't it weird? Like, I think they bought Ottawa. I think Ottawa came in 92. I think everything combined, it was $50 million. What do you think they're worth right now?
Who's that?
Ottawa.
As an organization?
Yeah.
$1 billion?
Almost $1 billion.
Yeah.
Isn't that about a bitch? 50 fucking schmilly.
Yeah.
Now you got a Billy. Just like with Anheuser-Busch here in St. Louis with the Cardinals. What they sell the Cardinals for in the 90s? 90 million or something?
Something crazy, yeah.
And now it's worth.
I know.
Hey, if we had $1 billion,
anything
Andy,
you sold back then is as much as it's worth now.
Not everything.
Most things.
Most things?
I mean, yeah, you sell a corporation in the 80s or the 90s, it's probably going to be worth more today than it was at the time of the transaction.
Not necessarily. Now, technical stuff. technology, man. That might have been working then. It doesn't work now. Like, there's a lot of things.
Are you okay with expansion right now?
Yeah.
Are you?
With the NHL?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
What,
Let's
more teams?
go. Yeah.
Really?
Sure. It's not in Canada.
Why do you want more teams?
I don't know. Because I think there's a pool of great players. There's so many good players that haven't reached their potential.
And then are you okay with expanding the playoff format then? You may have to have more playoff teams.
Maybe we'll deal with that when it comes. But I don't mind expansion. Somebody wants some rich billionaire wants to fucking
I'd rather
have
move teams out of dead ass markets who can't get fans and can't get any support from their community. I'd rather move those teams to a new location.
I think you do both.
Than have an expansion team.
What location you want, Andy?
I think Salt Lake City would be cool.
Yoink.
You know, it looks like Houston obviously is going to get a team. It looks like, Atlanta, which we talked about a long time ago, and the town of Forsyth and whatever. We talked about that a long time ago, about a team kind of moving. Like, that's in a completely different area of town versus where Atlanta has been before, and they failed and they've struggled, whatever. So maybe
they got renderings of their they got the AOK in Atlanta. So like
the idea is like this is going to give them a much better opportunity, a much better chance to have success versus the situations they found themselves in before. I don't know.
Atlanta
doesn't excite me, man.
No, it doesn't. Twice already. Mm-hmm. What is going on? You see that, like, somebody, like, spit chew in that mug, I feel like.
Well, I wonder who that was.
You know what? I'm going to suck it up anyway.
Yeah.
Petromart, though, does have the coldest beer in town.
Do they?
I'm not going to lie to you. Man, there's gas stations I go to in St. Louis. Man, the beer is not cold. That's a problem with me. But the Petromart, god dang, ice cold beer. Damn good. Although there's, like, chew spit on it.
All right, Jody Shelley on this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast, Cam.
He's awesome. Tough,
How were your fights with him?
I did okay in one in San Jose. He tried to run me. I go, what's up, motherfucker? Mm-hmm. And then we went for like a minute. He strung me out pretty good. Yeah, it was okay. Every time I was in San Jose, it was really weird, Andy. Like, I felt so shitty. Because when we were in San Jose when I was playing for the Blues, or even with the Devils, like, it was like a long road trip, and I always like ran out of by the end of it. And San Jose,
what would you run out of?
Painkillers. And San Jose was the last fucking team on that trip. And by the time we got to San Jose, I'm like, oh god, and I just never played well because it was always a long trip, and I'd always run out of pills. And if you know, it's like a fucking nightmare. Then you gotta ask the guys like, hey, you got any extra? A lot of guys are like, I'm not giving you mine.
No.
And if you do get it, like, you're still shitty in 5 hours afterwards anyway. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't mean to be so, like, down and out about that, but I feel like every time I'm in San Jose, it felt like
Jody Shelley, like, an elite fighter, though, right? I mean, he
Big
was,
time.
one
of the toughest ever.
Yeah, he fought everybody.
Yeah.
I think he may have a record or up there in terms of 5-minute majors or something
like that. Yep. Yeah, he's tougher than dog shit. And he's very smart.
Smart.
I think he's handsome.
Very smart.
I think he's a handsome guy.
Working on TV, doing his thing.
He's got a good, tough looking, handsome look.
JD telling me a long time ago that he has a lot of potential to be really good in television. Yeah. Now, he's an ambassador for Columbus. So the reality is, listen, you're not going to get much. And I get it. I know what it's like to be in that situation. If you're going to ask him about, like, Mike Babcock and stuff like that, you're not going to get, like...
No, I know.
The answer that maybe...
He wasn't around that much at the beginning either.
No, during the summer and stuff like that. But, Cam, when you work with a team, you know everybody, right?
I know.
So...
I know.
It's just... He says the right things. That's why if I'm running a team, that's why I want to have Jody Shelley work for me, too. Because he knows what to say. More importantly, he knows what not to say.
He knows,
and he represents the organization very well. He
protects the logo that pays you. Mm-hmm. That's what you do.
That's what you do.
Goddamn right. Mm-hmm. It's like this logo right here, baby. Look at that. How handsome that looks. Andy had glasses on the first time, but he wanted them off.
I did.
And then Andy tried to, like, make his neck really thick too, like mine. And then we're like, no, we'll get a.
Well, the guy who drew it originally. I mean, I've never worn that shirt and that sweater ever. Andy, I don't wear a collar out of a sweater like that.
Andy had his neck like yoink, yoink, like jacked. We're like, no, that's not what you look like. Mm-hmm. And then so we changed it. We had a happy medium.
You haven't looked like that in a long time.
I know. My hair looks thick there, too. God damn it.
That's not even you.
Only one chin.
I don't even think that's you.
I know. It was me. That was never you with the big neck. So, like, at least.
No. Hey, but the interview with Jody Shelley has been really good. People are going to enjoy this.
Awesome.
And he fought everybody. He fought Probert 4 times, like in 4 periods.
I know.
3 times in 1 game.
Yeah. It's hard to do, man.
People kind of make Probert out to be like kind of like crazy like that. He was gouging his eye.
I know.
It happened to me in a high school game one day, Cam.
Oh, God.
I think it was Parkway North versus Parkway Central. Somebody was gouging somebody's eye at the bottom of the pile. And the fight spilled over to like Dairy Queen after the game.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, it did.
They're all eating ice cream together.
Yeah, it spilled over to Dairy Queen after the game.
Dairy Queen.
Because somebody was So I was thinking of
Were
that.
you like, what's up? Like, what
No, I never, I didn't really get involved in
Yeah,
that. I was always like, happy go lucky.
Fuck, I'm just eating my ice cream, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, man, Dairy Queen's gosh dang good, just so all y'all know.
I used to work there. Got fired from there, as a matter of fact.
Dairy Queen's pretty good.
I worked there for a little while. We had this guy who took over, like bought the place. They were like young kids. They partied like crazy. They hired like 20 of us. We all went in there. They were opening up a new location. We all went in there together to apply. We all got hired on the spot. So it was like working with all your buddies. Nobody paid for anything.
Yeah, you're just eating the whole time.
Well, but like people are coming in, like your friends are coming in. You're just giving them free shit.
That's why when you own a business, man.
Oh my God.
You know how difficult it is to even own a restaurant like that.
I feel bad.
You got dipshits
to this day,
like that, and they're dipshit buddies eating all that. I'm surprised. Actually, if I own a fast food place or a restaurant, and I'm worried about people eating all my food, I'm going to hire this motherfucker. Because I know he's not going to eat anything. He might give it away to his buddies that actually probably don't eat either. So, yeah, you'd be like my number one option to hire because what are you going to do, steal the burgers?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
And do what with them? Throw them away?
I'd give them to people. Just give them to the homeless, too.
That's cool. You steal to give to the homeless? It doesn't pan out.
Well, I'm not stealing anything.
Well, you are if you're not paying for the food. Like those guys had to pay for that food.
Yeah,
like the guy's struggling to keep that thing afloat.
Kids. It was
and then you give it to the homeless. Like I'm doing the right. I'm giving it to the homeless.
Smart.
Not to mention those homeless don't even want to eat that shit. They want fucking crack. So the other day I get to our radio show and Andy and I work at the same radio station, and I get there before everybody else. I get there like 5:47 every morning. I got a 7:00 show, and I get there first, and some homeless guy was hanging out, and he looked fucking big ass dude, and I pull up on my Jeep Gladiator, big shit kicking thing, man. And I roll up and I see him and he's looking at me like, what the fuck you gonna do?
Is that what he said to you?
Yes, I told you this. I told this on the radio too. He goes, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I go, motherfuck. I go, what the fuck?
No, you were probably
Andy,
a little
you weren't
nervous about this.
So I'm staying in my
Were
Jeep.
You scared?
I go, what is this motherfucker? Does he got a gun? Hold on.
Was he doing that to you when you were in the car?
Yes, right when I pulled up.
No other cars in the parking lot.
Oh no, it's 5:47 in the morning. No one's there. It's dark out.
So what'd you do?
I go. I'm staring at him like, what? He's like, what are you gonna do? And he starts like karate chopping. I go, oh.
Karate chopping.
And this is a residential area, by the way, where there's beautiful homes everywhere, and there's kids and there's mothers.
It's on a busy road. The homes are behind it.
Yeah, and that's where.
Yeah.
I'll explain the story. You weren't there.
I'm just trying to paint.
My point is, like, there's houses everywhere right there. This guy looked like a shit bum motherfucker. And he's like karate chopping. He's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm not getting out of this thing because I can go knock you out right now. But you might have a shiv. You might have a gun.
What's a shiv?
A little fucking shiv.
It's a shank, dude.
Whatever. Shiv, shank.
Yeah.
Would you stop interrupting me?
You
don't know shit about a shiv or a shank. You're hair braiding in jail. But so this guy was scary, man. And I go, what am I gonna do? Okay, no, I'm staying in my comfort zone is that Jeep. Like I'm not getting out of that. If you're gonna come at me, I'll run your bitch ass over. What are you gonna stab me through the fucking Jeep? No, you're not. I'm not getting out of this thing. So then I'm like, God damn, I called 911.
Did you?
I called 911 and they got him because he's creeping over.
What do you mean they got him?
They got him.
Did he not leave?
No, he creeped around back and went to those houses where like people are getting up, kids are going to school, and this guy was like 6'4". He was scary looking. He's trying to karate chop my fucking. He's telling me like, "What are you gonna do?" I'm like, God, I might run your bitch ass over. And I'm like, okay, do I get out and knock him out? If I knock him out and he hits his head on the concrete, he's dead, dude.
Oh, and then
he's
they're
fucking
pressing
dead.
charges.
He's dead.
Did you look it up on the camera by any chance?
No, his cameras are everywhere, dude.
I know, but have you seen the footage?
I told Jimmy Hoover to. I told them all to look.
I need to see the
footage. You got
footage.
Pasta House there. You got Cam's karate motherfucker right there.
So when you say he's karate chopping, like, what does that mean?
I'll show you. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He's like,
oh my God. Okay. Well,
I'll fuck you up.
no, you stay in the Jeep, dude.
I stayed in the Jeep. I was gonna run that motherfucker over. Just run him over.
But what? You sent him to jail though for
Dude, he was
he's
threatening.
He's
Time
got
out.
mental problems.
He's looking through the trap. Yeah, exactly.
And he's
Get
homeless.
to jail. Let them help you. Go to IRC. Time out. Go to IRC.
Yeah, well,
And I'm looking at, and this is my moral of the story. This guy was crazy. He was certainly cracked out of his mind. It wasn't just booze, dude. I could see it in his fucking eyes. Listen, I know what a crackhead looks like, okay? I know how you act whenever you're fucked up on that shit. He was out of control. He's been out of control for a while. I could look at his clothes were nasty. He was big. He looked scary. Then he creeps around, and there's kids all over the place. There's women that come out in the morning that walk their dog. I go, I can't have this. Mm-hmm. I called 911. They're like, I go, just check them out. I just worried about the kids getting up. And they did, and they arrested him.
For what?
For fucking
what they arrest him for?
He's in the back of yards.
Sometimes they just want $1, dude. You just like
ask me
the homeless guys that I see, I just kind of
Kirkwood there, Andy.
Give him a couple quarters.
If that guy was walking down your neighborhood, dude, in your yard, looking through your shit, like, it's not good. Little Chloe's.
I would have gotten out of the car, though.
Okay.
I need to see some
stupidest thing in the world.
I need to see some video footage. Actually, you played it smart.
Do you think I'm lying?
I'm glad. No,
do you think I lie when I say this kind of stuff?
I just want to see who this guy is. But you got to be careful early in the morning showing up to work like that by yourself.
I like to get to work early.
All right, let's get to Jody. I'm glad you wore black today because we are on camera. We're doing stuff with the cameras. And
no, I know, and I sweat
an awful lot.
Are you worried about me embarrassing you? Like Andy worries about me so much about so many different things, and most of it's reasonable, and I get it. But like when there's something new, like Andy's got like, hey, cameras on you, Cam. Like, you got to be this way, and I want you to be this way and that. And I'm like, okay.
What did I say to you? I said, don't change.
Yeah,
just pretend the cameras aren't even there.
Well, they are there, so you got to acknowledge them. You know what I mean? I like it. I think we're gonna look okay.
Okay,
as long as my face looks fine. Mm-hmm. I know the setup guys it looks shitty right now. We'll pimp it out. Don't worry, we'll pimp it out.
You ever had a bloody nose? Like a bloody nose, like before?
No, Andy. No. 500 fights under my belt. Never a bloody nose.
When I woke up this morning, man, it was just gushing out. I don't know what happened.
No, it's getting cold.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
I've never had. I don't think I've ever had one before.
I've had plenty for plenty of different reasons.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
They're all not good. If you have a bloody nose, there's a problem with you. Yeah. Okay, either you're partying, you got punched, you're sicker than fuck.
That's the weather.
The weather,
Hey, we are fueled by First Form as always, Cam. Download that app. We keep telling you to download the app. First Form and firstform.com. Use our link, firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Only our link.
Got to use our link, guys.
That's the only way to do it, man. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. You got to download the app. It's like having a life coach, and they'll help you with everything in terms of how to get started. Now, there's a couple staples you can get. Now, the protein obviously is huge. I was telling you how you need protein and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
thank you for that.
Yeah, so make sure you get the protein. You can get the Formula One, which obviously is very good.
Damn good.
Very good for you.
Damn good.
They have meal replacement protein. They have lifestyle protein. They have pre-workout protein, post-workout protein, protein bars, energy drinks, and unbelievable
clothes,
apparel
baby.
as
Look
well,
at this.
man. Yeah.
I look God damn, I look pretty gosh dang good.
You need to zip that up just a little bit.
No.
It's a little low.
No, the chest hair, they like it,
Who likes it?
The women folk.
Oh, do they?
The women folk.
A lot of women listening.
I know.
A lot of women watching now,
good.
too.
Oh, they're really going to watch now.
I hear from them. Do you know, I do get a lot of these messages that I don't know if they're like, who
they
are
feel
they?
safe around you.
No, who are they? They're like, are they porn stars? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Fake. Yeah,
where
those
it's like a blurry image and then you have to click on it. It's like, okay, well, what's going to pop out of here when I click on this thing?
No, there's a lot of women that listen to our show, man, from all over the world.
All over the world.
Yep. I like it. It's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
If women think you're funny, you're pretty fucking funny. Because we have the men. They get our humor. They get the shit kicker. They get the toe dragging cougars, the yoink, fucking our personality. But if women do, that means that you're doing pretty damn good. And we're still crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, if we're like, hey, I'm buttoned up and I'm perfect. No. Like they like our humor.
I hear from a number of women, Cam.
They're not threatened by you.
No.
You know what I mean? So, like, it's easy for them to go up and talk to you.
Well, they shouldn't feel threatened.
No, I know.
Should never feel threatened.
They never did. You know?
You won't feel threatened when you go to First Forum either. Actually, I had a great meeting there last week. It was great seeing everybody. First Forum, Nick.
Yeah, baby.
He's like doing like another challenge. Every time I turn around, he's doing another challenge, dude.
He does a lot of things, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I want you to do like the 70-day challenge.
Man, fuck.
Can you do the 70-day challenge, Cam?
Man, I don't know.
I want to see you do the challenge.
Maybe if they put me on a spot, I would.
It's the quickest way to like you just all of a sudden transform your body.
If they were like, Cam, as a company, we really want you to get on this.
Yeah. Well,
like,
I think they've said that to you.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't. No one's put me on a spot and said, "Hey, Cam, we really need you to get on this.
Do a challenge.
Can you do this for this company?" I'd be like,
"Yes,
goddamn right, I will."
Yes, I can.
But unless that happens, I'm gonna be like, man, I'm drinking Bloody Marys, dude. I'm partying, and I'm like eating a lot and stuff like that. I love my weekends, man. Like my Saturdays are my favorite.
Are you drinking Bloody Marys like every weekend?
Yeah, and the weekends I am. I don't drink vodka during the week by any means, but like on the weekends I do. You know, I having people come over and watch college football. Like I love my Saturdays and my fucking jam.
College football. This is like the best college football season of all time. What do you think of Shador? Given the old like going up to the Arizona State student section and showing his watch, that got a lot of play.
I don't know if I like that shit, but I like him and I like.
Where does watch come from? Somebody was holding it for him on the sideline.
I don't know.
$100,000 watch. Got that NIL money.
Got the NIL money, baby. You know, there's some cats in the NFL like Brock Purdy. He's a quarterback for 49ers. And he's like living with a fucking roommate because he's making $700.
Yeah, but
and these cats in fucking college are making more money than him.
I know.
And he'd be the best dude in college right now.
I know. But his roommate is like another player on the 49ers.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like he's like just like living with like a random.
Why would you live with a roommate? Two swinging dicks in one fucking area.
Because he lives in San Francisco.
Exactly right.
That's
Andy.
why. You know how expensive it is there?
No, I don't. Tell me.
I'm just telling you.
No, I do know. But that's unacceptable. There's guys in college that aren't even good that are making more money than him.
I know.
Think about that.
I know.
That dude's a stud.
He is a stud.
Fucking 49ers are badass, man.
He'll make his money.
I know he will.
And I'm sure he's got some endorsement
$200
deals going on. And
yeah,
stuff
I know,
like
but you're still making $700K. That's what I made.
That doesn't go very far in San Francisco.
No shit. You're middle of the pack in San Francisco.
One time, my wife and I were walking through like a downtown San Francisco, and like a homeless guy like jumped out to like attack us. Oh, man. He was gonna like.
What would you do in that situation?
Well, then he like all of a sudden was like kind of like trying to figure out how he was gonna hurt us. Was he gonna rob us?
Any way possible.
And all of a sudden, he saw that my wife was pregnant and stopped. He gave her one of these. He like bowed to her. I was like, oh, we escaped that one.
If I'm a homeless guy and I needed something, I'm going after you. 100%.
Really?
Fuck yeah.
Why?
Because I know you look harmless. You look like you're not armed. You know, you look like you'd be like, golly gee, what do you need there, sir? And so like I would go after you. You know what I mean?
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Well, I'm not gonna. Well, hopefully I go after you and no one else. But, you know.
If I was with you that morning at the radio station, though, we're getting out of the Jeep.
Oh, I'd protect you.
We're getting
get down. Get down. Like, I got this.
We're getting out of the Jeep.
One of my partners came up, rolled in like 20 minutes later, you know, and I walked out there and made sure that guy's not going to jump him. I mean, he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jimmy.
You thought he was coming back?
Yeah. I thought he was sneaking right there. He's going to come.
He
came right after.
Did the cops come through the radio?
No, I didn't see him. They might not have got him. I don't know. I just made that.
Yeah, so why'd you make that part up?
Because I had a feeling let me explain, because you asked me. Because I have a feeling in that particular part of Kirkwood, if you're a shit bum looking sound bitch,
yeah, they're catching you.
Those motherfuckers are gonna catch you.
Maybe not.
If you walked around my neighborhood and you looked out of place, they are on you so fast. And you know what? I like that. Andy's neighborhood, you can probably do what you want. They're like, hey, come on in. We invite everybody. You can stay on my front porch. You No, we don't do that where I live. You know what I mean? You got to actually live there if you walk around and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They would like question you.
In the middle of the night, if some dipshit fucking guy with cut off fucking things are walking around, are you kidding me?
In my neighborhood too.
Oh, I know it would.
Yeah.
You guys would be like, hey, come on in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're like, everybody's got cameras.
We question everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure.
Firstform.com/Cam Strick. Use our link and do it today, man. We love our relationship with everybody over there at First Form.
I eat
20 grams of protein in one of those.
They're so damn good. Here you go, kiddo. That's for you, baby.
Oh, there you go, man.
You bring all these cameras in like that, you get a beef stick.
Hey, the Illinois Recovery Center, IRC, baby.
Yeah. Can I say something real quick
Please
about them?
Yeah.
So, you know how I am on here. I chirp everything. I'll make crude jokes here and there. Look, you guys are fucking busting your ass. We're trying to entertain you, man. But in reality, this homeless guy that threatened me the other day, which is whatever. Like if I'm with my wife, we got problems. If I'm by myself, like fucking, you want to do something, like I got you. Like I'll deal with it the way I need to deal with it. It's me. My wife's not here. Andy's not here. I don't have to protect. I can protect myself the way it is. But if you really boil this down, you break it down. This guy might be a good dude. He was jacked out of his fucking mind. He was ate up on fucking either coke, meth, both, crack, whatever. What if he needs fucking help? And I was thinking to myself, and we're like choking about on the radio. I'm like, acting like a hero, like funny, making funny jokes, this, that, and the other. But then I thought about it. Like I did a live read for Illinois Recovery Center. I'm like, wait a minute. Like this, what if this guy just needs fucking help? He looked horrible, and he's threatening me. But I've done crazy shit all fucked up too. Like, what if he just needs help? What if his mom and dad are like, God, I love him so much. Where is he? He just got it. If he only listen
They don't know where he is.
They don't know where the hell he's at. Yeah. Like, what if Chrissy Ponoff could help you? And he comes out of it like, God, Cam, like what? I was fucked up. Well, and now I'm normal.
You should have said that to him.
No, I didn't talk to him. I couldn't, dude. I couldn't get out of my car. Then what do I do? What do I do? Like, engage hand to hand? I can't do it.
Let me help you.
I should have called you.
Do you need help?
I should have called you. No, but seriously, in all reality, man, I don't want to joke. He needs help. That's what we're talking about. And you think like, oh, he's a lost cause. No. He probably just got fucked up. Yeah. Like, it just takes 2 seconds, man. And all of a sudden, he doesn't know where he's at.
You scared him as much as he scared you.
No, he was not scared of anything. And that's what scared me. I know when guys are fucking loosey-goosey, and he was. And do I look like a fucking you? No, I'm looking at him like this, like I'm revving my engine, like I'll run you over, boy. Like he might have just needed help. He might need fucking Chrissy Ponoff. Yeah. And Illinois Recovery Center.
Eric.
And Eric Conley. Like the sweetest people in the world.
Yeah.
Like they'll help you, man. If you're listening, I hope I don't have another encounter with you. I don't know what I'm going to do to you. I don't know what you're going to do to me. Now I got to defend myself.
You're probably going to call me.
I'm probably going to call Andy, and he's going to do nothing. He might just need help. You're not a lost cause.
No, you're not.
Until you're dead. Ugh. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be so like
888-743-0971, Cam. That's the phone number. Give him a call today to Illinois Recovery Center. If you or someone you know,
which you do know,
wants to learn about the IRC, call that number, 888-743-0971. It's the newest premier inpatient substance abuse facility just outside of St. Louis, Cam.
It's right outside St. Louis, right across the river, man. Swansea, Illinois. Yeah. Easy to get to.
You know, when it comes to the disease of addiction, getting help should not be difficult.
No, it shouldn't. And sometimes it is. Not here. Not with IRC, man. Right. It's not. It's actually the easiest fucking thing you do. They will help you with your payment plans, with your insurance,
whatever you
all
need.
That. They get it. They've been through hell and back. They're not like, listen, when you go through this shit, and real quick, I don't want to get too far into it, but like, if you're addicted and you talk to people that have not gone through it firsthand, they don't know what the fuck to say to you. And you, as an addict, understand that, and it's hard. Hey, doc, what do I do? Well, this is what you should do. Well, what should I do with this pain? Like, they know what to tell you, but they've never been through it. And that is such a gap, man. Eric Conley and Chrissy Ponoff, they've been through hell and back. So they know exactly what's coming, and they know exactly how to treat you the right way.
I equate it to like if you're playing hockey for a coach who never played before. No, I'm just saying, if he played...
You're going to bash Hitchcock, you're going to bash a lot.
I'm not talking about the NHL. I'm talking about in general.
Okay.
But if they played, there's a chance that maybe that connection or they understand what you're going through. And maybe they've been there before.
I get what you're saying, but I think it's easier for be a coach and not play and understand the game and systems and players is easier than explaining to somebody who's such an addict and what they're going through firsthand.
I'm trying to make a comparison.
I know, it's okay. I didn't mean to chirp you. I chirp you for a lot of things, like that stupid animal you have in your backyard. Like, well, okay. But you're right on that. I'll give you that, man. My bad.
I mean,
I'll give you that.
Come on now. I mean, just think about it. Just think about it.
I did.
For people who are just tuning in, if you didn't hear, just help me out here. What is this? Man, this is my house.
Play it.
This is my house on Friday.
Oh my God!
Listen to this.
Oh God! Children in the background. Oh my God! Oh, my God.
You hear that?
You hear that, neighborhood? Oh, my God. It's a dingo. It could be a dingo. Oh, my God. It's horrific. I've
never heard it.
Wow. It sounds like it's a dinosaur or something. Good God, Andy. Okay, enough.
And so it was taunting me, it was heckling me.
Like the homeless guy did to me.
Yeah, it's haunted out here. See, you hear that?
It's haunted.
And you can see the kind of the moon in the background. It's
in the highway and the school.
Thing, if anybody has any idea what that might be, please let me know.
I know, man.
It was very scary. So I know how you were feeling in that parking lot by yourself, just isolation.
That was threatening me, man.
Well, that's how I felt.
I know.
And this thing could have done something to me too. So
a lot of things could do something to you.
So I didn't know what to do really, but
scary.
You hear
pray for him.
And those kids, I don't know where those kids are. Like there's no kids in sight.
No, your children.
No, they were not mine.
Oh.
No kids in sight.
Yeah, no kids in that neighborhood.
It's just voices
next to the high school.
So the Illinois Recovery Center, again, 888-743-0971. You can email them as well at info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. Hey, a lot of storms on the way, too. Tesson Roofing, baby.
Oh, there has been. Big time.
Yes.
Shit Kicker texted us, too, Brett.
Yes, he did.
He's like, hey, man, they got rocked up in St. Charles.
Oh, my God.
Let the people know what's up.
Did they ever?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, if you're in need of a new roof, you get to Brett Tesson, man. He'll be out there and give you that free estimate. Take a look at it. TessonRoofing.com, that's the website. So check that out. Brett Tesson, the best in the business.
Best in the business, man. St. Louis, baby.
Yeah.
I see their trucks all over the place, man. I do.
Even though it's winter, by the way, it doesn't matter, man. You can still get that nano shield.
Absolutely.
And get that cool coat, man. Let them put that on your roof, and it'll decrease the temperature at the top of your residence or your commercial building, Cam, by like 35, 40 degrees. Honestly. By that much.
No, I know. Save money.
And it saves you a ton of money.
There was hail the other day.
Preferred roofer with all the big dog insurance companies.
Just so all y'all know, because I'm a storm predictor, as you guys know, this winter is going to be weird. We're going to get more hail. We're going to have a weird time where there might be some tornadoes because it's going to be 30 degrees and all of a sudden it's going to be 70 degrees. Whether that's going to be in December, whether that's going to be in January, whether it's going to be in February coming up here.
It's like that every year.
It comes and goes.
It always does that.
It comes and goes. There were some hardcore tornadoes in St. Louis in February. One rocked fucking our airport here, Lambert. Like 5, 6, 7, 8 years
That was in the summertime.
No, that was in February. An EF3 came down and rocked in February. St. Louis it's going to be a weird winter.
Yeah.
There's going to be hail. There's going to be somewhat tornadic. We're going to get a bunch of snow here and there. A lot of wear and tear on your roof. Give these cats a call at Tesson Roofing. They're the real deal.
You know, a couple years ago, I survived a tornado. We had a tornado at my house. It was an EF1. Remember all the pieces of my fence that were flown around, like all over the yard? And there was glass all over the streets and stuff like that. A lot of stuff
that was like EF1.
Yeah.
That's 80 miles an hour, 80 mile an hour winds, 90 mile an hour winds, maybe 100. Hey, you're going to be okay.
Destroy the fence.
That's fine. It didn't destroy your house. It didn't collapse on you when you and Ty are like playing hockey in the basement. No, it ruined your little fence. I could kick your fence down right now.
I was actually in Colorado for the Blues playoff series a couple years ago. I remember just getting the frantic phone calls and just worrying about what was going on back home. So this is serious. No, but again, we called Tesson Roofing when you're in need of anything roof related. Brett Tesson, he's the best in the business. And he's on my line, too, when it comes to pickup hockey,
He needs
too.
to be.
Yeah, he's a big dog.
I'm sure he's excited about that. Anybody goes to a pickup skate with Andy, they're like, oh, what line am I on? And Andy's there. They're like, yay. Yay.
That's not true.
No, they're not like yay. They're like, no. Like, he's not going to give me the puck.
I mean, you're making me not feel good about myself right now.
I mean, okay, fine. No, they want to be on your line. You're right.
All right, thanks.
You go in the corners and you dig out
thanks
pucks.
for that.
You're welcome.
Hey, appreciate that.
It's all good. Well, I'm just trying to be honest with the folks.
SparksandSparks.com, baby. Somebody was sent me a video the other day of a Seth that was working at a skate sharpening place, man.
God. Never mind tornadoes. Never mind that weirdo creep that I saw at the studio. Seth is going to get you. He's going to creep out your wife. He's going to creep out your daughter.
Wow.
He's probably going to kill your kitty cat.
Oh, my God.
That's a trifecta.
You don't know if he's going to do all
I know
that.
things. And that son bitch has animal bones in his basement. Look at his history on his computer. He's creeping out.
No, you don't want to see the history.
He's creeping out
in
your
his
daughter
computer.
in the neighborhood.
I don't want to see your history either, actually.
It ain't good. But this son bitch is bizarro land.
Yeah.
And he's up all night fucking eating Cheetos. He's got Cheetos in his fucking belly button. And he's going to sharpen your skates. Your kid's going to toe drag. And he's going to toe pick. He's going to fall into the boards and fuck his AC joint up because of Seth. Fuck him.
Get
He's
a
a
Sparks.
weirdo.
Get your own skate sharpener. Take your skate sharpening into your own hands. Get a Sparks. I got a Sparks in my basement. The other day, actually, we were leaving for hockey, Cam, and I was like, man, I started looking at his skates. We had like 6 minutes to leave. I was like,
Everything's always a time crunch with you. Why don't you just 15 minutes earlier?
because I
just
didn't look at his skates.
Like there's
the
so
night
much
before.
going on,
I
and
know.
he's like always. I can't be there on time. Tell what's going on. There's stoplights in front of me. Yeah, I know. Just leave a little. That's what you said today.
I told you today. I was stopping at every light.
I got this kid coming in, man. Like,
I came from the rink today.
I thought Andy was going to be here early to have all this conversation.
I had to go to the rink.
Here.
It's the last practice. The team is leaving for they're leaving for a bonding trip.
I know. Oh, really? Where?
They're going to they're going just outside of Dallas to Frisco. And it's a new golf course where I believe they're going to host the Ryder Cup within the next 10 years.
Cool.
It's a new resort.
So they're going to party?
Maybe. They open up
Kinda
Thursday.
like what we did,
they open up Thursday in Dallas. So they're going there, a few days early, play some golf and stuff like that.
Kind of like we did in 2008 with the Blues down in Lake of the Ozarks with a little trip.
Yeah, but that wasn't a team-sanctioned event.
It was.
The players came together and organized
that's
it.
That's a team-sanctioned event.
This is like the organization flying down there.
The organization gave us the okay to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric Johnson got to run into that.
Yeah, I know.
And I was with his foursome.
Isn't he in Buffalo now?
Yeah, he is. I love EJ.
Maybe I like Buffalo.
We need to get
a little
him
more.
on to really
we'll get him on.
Break down the incident.
We'll get him on.
Because I can only say it
well,
so much.
You shouldn't say that because that's why he doesn't want to come on right now.
Well, he needs to be retired first.
Maybe after he's done playing.
Yeah, that's fine.
He'll break that down for us.
I don't know.
We should have asked JD about that when he...
Fuck, I know.
When he was on with us.
We didn't ask him that?
Remember JD being like, sometimes you just stick your leg out the golf cart.
That certainly didn't happen.
It'll twist your knee.
That's not what the case was.
Jay McKee came on, though. Great episode with him. Yeah. He kind of broke it down exactly.
No, he
what
said
happened.
the same thing, and he was lying, too.
No, he kind of broke it down.
No, he said he stuck his leg out.
Yeah, I think maybe there's some truth to that, I think, actually.
Oh, yeah? Do you know? I was right next to him. I know exactly what happened. Yeah, that certainly wasn't it.
Okay. I feel like Jay told the story, though, when he came
Told the wrong story.
Really?
Yeah.
There's more than one version?
Dude, we were racing our golf carts together, and Dan Hynut was driving me, and I was on the passenger side. Eric Johnson was driving him and Jay McKee. EJ was kicking me, driving, and he kicked me, and his leg got caught in the cubby, and we turned, and he flipped out and went.
Yeah.
And he's like,
they wouldn't let EJ talk to anybody. I remember sending him. I sent him a text, and then I got a call from the organization right away. Be like, "What are you doing, reaching out to Eric?" I'm like, "Geez, okay, so you can't talk to Eric right now." But I was getting pictures sent to me from the golf course pro.
Yeah.
And what do they call the guy? Like the head of the grounds crew. Like he's sending me emails with the photos of the club pro. Of you guys destroyed the course, like tens of thousands of dollars of damage.
It was horrible. It was embarrassing.
Yeah,
it set the.
You should be embarrassed.
100,000% embarrassing.
You should be
fucking
embarrassed.
embarrassing.
Yeah,
I was a kid.
Yeah, you should.
EJ and I were kids. Dan Hynot and Jamie Key weren't, but we love you. We all hung out together, and we just fucked up.
You think you were a kid?
I was 24, 23 years old.
That's not a kid. He was like 19.
Okay,
that's
he's
a
more
kid.
of a kid.
That's a kid. Everybody's excuses. I was a kid. Get a Sparks.
Okay.
And take your skate sharpening to the next level.
How old are you? 24. How old are you, Brody?
22. Yeah.
Those are kids.
These aren't kids.
Yeah, they are.
Grown-ass guys, men. That's what they are. Anyway, get a Sparks. And use the promo code Cam Strick. It's going to save you more money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Hell yeah.
Those are great deals. This deal is even better. They got the new Sparks out, by the way, which is unbelievable. Check out the website. Explains the new version, the new machine, and the old machine. If you want to get the old machine, hey, you can get that at a much discounted price. Nothing wrong with the old machine, but get the new one, man. That's the newest, the greatest, and latest. SparksandSparks.com. Don't go see Seth. Don't ruin your skates. Don't ruin your hockey weekend. Don't ruin the tournament. Do the right thing. You always have the ability to make the right decision. Getting a Sparks is certainly one of those. All right, Cam, at Bellman Automotive, you get no what?
Swinging dicks. Swinging dicks.
You get some of that at some of these other car places, man.
You don't want swinging dicks out there swinging their dick around.
Bellman is located where?
Troy,
Missouri. You got the Buick GMC on one side of the street. On the other side, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, baby.
Oh, yeah.
They got it all. Best customer service you'll find anywhere.
Oh, God, yeah. Your wife can go buy a car and not get
by
creeped
herself.
out. Yeah, by herself.
Yeah.
Not get ripped off.
And still get the
not
same
get
deal that anybody else would get.
Not get ripped off, not get creeped out.
Everybody gets approved, by the way, no matter how bad your credit is.
That's a good deal. No doubt.
That's a real good deal. So if you have terrible credit, if you have shitty credit, listen, everybody goes through it at some point in life, you know? You had made some bad decisions, whatever else.
Made bad decisions.
Hey, you know what? You can still get a car from Bellman.
Made bad decisions.
Yeah.
Dude, I was making $600,000, and I was, I just wasn't organized on my bills.
Yeah, that's bad decisions.
And okay, but meaning you invested in somebody, told you to invest in a fucking real estate company that went under. No, I'm saying I just didn't get my bill, and I didn't pay it for 2 months.
Your brother was paying the bill,
and my fucking credit score got rocked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everything's in my account, just pay it. I just forgot, and I got rocked. And I'm like, was I that? It's I had the money, I had everything, but just a little mistake like that could screw you over, and now you can't buy the house that you want, or whatever the case, you can't.
Yeah.
And so it's not,
so don't put yourself in a jam, man. You don't have to. Say hi to Danny Boy, will you?
What up, Danny?
And Dale?
Dale. Fuck you doing, boy?
What about Kenny?
Hi, Kenny. Good old Kenny boy.
Oh, man, they're the best.
They are the best.
And they'll even give you sushi and flavored water, dude, when you walk in there, which is amazing.
Stupid thing to say.
No, it's true. That's the type of customer service you get at Bellman. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter, man.
Yeah, man. Wintertime's coming.
Cam claims, there's bad weather coming this winter. Yeah, thanks. That's Cam's forecast. There might be snow this winter. We may have freezing rain this winter.
Abundance of it.
That's the weather forecast from
Abundance
Cam.
of it.
I predict there might be snow. We're going to have snow.
More snow than usual.
All right, Jody Shelley, man. Great story. Went from playing midget B or high school or some shit to playing over 600 games in the NHL.
Pretty dang good, man.
What an amazing story.
Pretty dang good.
He joins us now on the Cam Strick Podcast, baby. The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by First Form. Use our link, firstform.com/Cam
They are the real deal.
Get your protein, get your bars, get your apparel, get everything you need from the one and only First Form.
Yeah.
Firstform.com/Cam. Now to the interview.
Hello.
Big Jody.
What's up?
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
The big boy.
What's going on?
What are you doing
Big
right
boy.
now? Are you preparing for the next broadcast? Are you in
No.
meetings? Are you at home? What are you doing?
No, I'm in New York at my buddy's apartment. I'm doing a little bit of work here. Just hanging out really today.
Like what kind of work?
I'm doing some stuff with the NHL, shooting some videos, and then I do some public speaking stuff. So I'm doing a little bit of that too.
I feel like you got your hat in a lot of things, man. I mean, this guy, your story's pretty unbelievable. I'm still confused how it all happened for you, because
So am I.
How did this happen? Like any kid out there playing midget B hockey right now, just know you too can go play 600 games in the NHL. Although, no, you can't, because that just doesn't ever happen. So, congrats, man. You've had a great run, man, and it's not over yet.
No, thank you. You guys know being associated with the National Hockey League is a dream, and got to do it somehow. Like you said, I was starting starting to look back at my career and think, how did that happen? And I think Cam probably says the same thing. I mean, we had a role that we kind of fell into, and you know, I was playing midget B hockey, like you said, practicing Monday nights when I was 17 years old from 10 to 10:50 at the Yarmouth rink, and then played 2 games on the weekend. And I always say we always had 3 guys in the intermission of every game eating hot dogs and smoking cigarettes. So, and I'm not that old, you know, that was a thing back in the day. But it was no dream of ever playing anything past midget hockey. I guess it was a dream, but I always looked at U.S. College to try to get in there, and ended up going to a selects camp and got noticed, and ended up going to the Mooseheads training camp, and because they expanded. And then I found that role of fighting, and I leveraged it all over North America, and ended up in Columbus, Ohio. And then, I played 12 years, and now I get to broadcast in this league, which is a great, a role I never thought I would be a part of. But I tell people it's like being a healthy scratch, but you don't have a curfew and you don't have to work out. So it's a pretty good setup.
Oh, that's nice.
I know, man.
Oh.
I know. Hey, listen, but I'm curious about this. Like, you're playing midget B hockey. Like, are you thinking you're a hockey player? Or are you like, I'm not a hockey? Like, why are you playing midget B hockey? Did you not try out for like the A team or the AA or the AAA team? Like, why are you on that team?
That's a really good question. So I lived in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, 10,000 people, and the closest AAA was in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia, which is 2.5 hours. And my mom was a school teacher. My dad was a mechanic in a mine, and education was number one. So I was not going to be traveling twice a week, 5 hours in a car for hockey. Mm. So I just stayed in Yarmouth, and you know, they wanted me to go there. I was a hockey player, Strick. I was scoring goals and making plays and controlling the play, of course, in that league. Yeah. Had a great time with my high school buddies. I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world. It was a complete minor hockey career. And then I went to hockey night in Boston and got on the draft list when there was like 16 rounds. And that was the same year the Mooseheads came to town, and they had 90 guys going to camp, and they said, who's this kid in Yarmouth that's on the draft list? So they invited me. And I remember the phone call when Donnie Matheson, who was the head scout, he called my parents' house, you know, landline. I answered the phone, and he had this big, you know, we want to invite you to the Halifax Mooseheads training camp. And it was a big deal. And I remember thinking, I don't even know what that is. I said, well, I'll have to call you back. And I hung up the phone on him. And I was lucky he actually called me back and invited me again, because that's how out of touch I was with anything past minor hockey.
When did you start shit kicking guys?
Well, I got beat up. My entire first year. But I went to training camp, and they had a guy named Moose DuPont, big guy. They had him on. It was the Moosehead, so Moose was on the billboards. It was Moose DuPont's. His dad played in the NHL, so this was his son. And you know, a guy that had played with him, I was training with him, and he told me I should take some boxing lessons and learn how to fight. I said, whoa, I've never been in a fight in my life. On the street, in school, on the ice, that's not part of my game. And he said, listen, it's a great way to make an impression, and this guy's a big guy, and you might be able to surprise him if you do that. So he came after me the first day in camp, and I did okay. Like, you know, it was a pretty even fight, and I was a local kid, so they liked that. And I remember in training camp, I was sitting there 3 days or 4 days into camp. The cuts come and they go, and I don't want to be there. And I call home to my dad, and he's like, you know, I said, Dad, I want to go home. No one's speaking English. I don't know anybody here. And he said, listen, do yourself a favor and just don't cut yourself. Like, stay there until they cut you. And, you know, that was one of those conversations that I always look back to. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll push through here. And later that day, the assistant coach came to me and said, hey, listen, you had one good fight the last 4 days. We got 50 guys that are 5'5" and fast and can score and play hockey. We need a big guy. And that's when the light bulb went on. And so it started in training camp in 1995, to answer your question. And like I said, I got beat up the entire first year, like, you know, Peter Worrell and all those guys in the Quebec. We had some big, tough boys, and I just got tuned in. And then the second year, I won about half. And then the third year I was an overager, so I had a lot of fun that year. But then, you know, you go to the East Coast and American Hockey League, it's like starting over again. So I took my lumps all the way through.
So even when you were a kid, like in high school, you didn't have that like fire. You know what I mean? Like I look at you, I'm like, God, you were a stone cold killer, man. And so it just happened. Like you didn't have that aggression growing up at all?
No, it wasn't. It was all out power forward. But, you know, the thing about our role is I didn't want to lose it. I knew what I had to do to be where I was at, and I just embraced it to the max. And I was like, not going to let it go. And I never worried about losing. I just wanted to show up, and I brought that attitude every day. And it was just like, no, I wasn't a mean guy. I don't think I am a mean guy, but you know, it was just something that was my vehicle, just like you, to get there. And it was like, well, this is what's going to take. It's going to be all in. And that's what I did.
All right. You kind of touched on it, but like, even like you're from like, you know, the Nova Scotia area or whatever, and you're going to the queue and everybody's speaking French. Like I've talked to other NHL players about that too, especially the Russians who are like, you know, they're like the import draft. Like they don't know any English or French, you know, and they speak Russian.
They learn both.
And it's like, whoa, what is going on here? They like learn it from like watching television, but you don't know French. Like, are they speaking English at the same time? And even though it was kind of like your area where you grew up, like, was that different for you? Was that like a little bit of a wake up call for you?
Oh yeah, it was a culture shock. I didn't know one person, and you know, when you go to a camp, I was a fish out of water, man. I didn't understand, you know, where to shower, how we hang our equipment. I was raw. So I just followed people around, and I didn't talk to anyone at all the first 4 days. And you know, there were some local guys from other parts of Nova Scotia, but it's a pretty big province. You know, we're all kind of spread out. So we got to, as training camp went on, we got to stick together a little bit more and have dinners together. But, you know, you find yourself at a table where it's the Quebec League. It's the first team that expanded into the Maritimes, was Halifax. So they had a lot of English guys, a lot of French guys, but you know, there was a lot of bilingual guys too, who you'd sit at the table with the French guys and everyone would be talking French. And it's just one of those things you felt a little more comfortable when you could at least have a small talk conversation with someone. And that developed throughout camp. But initially, I just felt like I wasn't supposed to be there. It was so uncomfortable because everyone knew what they were doing. It was a different language most of the time. And then, you know, I couldn't find my way, but thankfully I stayed. And we did have an English or French and English speaking coach, which was nice. We had an assistant coach who was English speaking. So, you know, but it took me a solid week. I mean, I honestly don't know why or how I stayed, because I was that uncomfortable, but you know, I look back now and I smile at it.
Listen, man.
I get that, dude.
Jody. A great name, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about
Great
that.
name, by the way. Hey, 25 goals and 420 penalty minutes, though, man. Like that may never be done ever again. Was that your overage year in the queue or what?
Yeah. I got great power play time. I had 25 goals. It was amazing. And, you know, I wasn't going to get drafted out of that. I was going to get invited to Calgary's camp, but I tore my ACL at the end of the year. And everything came off the table. But yeah, that was a heck of a year. That's when you could collect 10s too.
Yeah, that's right.
And you know, the Quebec League, we got 10s, so that I stacked those up pretty good. But that's a pretty big number, huh? 400. What is it? 425?
It's ridiculous.
Jody, it says 420. They didn't give you that extra.
So you were like what Brian McGrattan did in the 04 lockout year, where like, you know, at the end of every game, he'd go up to the ref where he knew the ref and be like, "Hey, go fuck yourself. There's a 10." He had 551 that year. So is that where you were doing?
I think I did that one time. I think there was some kind of record, and I think it was Chris Lee or one of those refs that we see around.
Yeah.
One of those guys that's been with me my entire career. And I remember I went up and did something stupid. And he goes, "You're looking for one, aren't you? You're looking for a 10, aren't you?" I said, "No." And then I did something stupid again. And he gave it to me, and I just smiled and laughed. I was like, "Thanks, man."
Thank you.
But it wasn't like a bonus or anything. It was just something where I needed some penalty minutes.
Did you stay with a billet?
Yeah.
Would you stay with a billet family?
Yeah, stay with a billet family. Yeah,
English speaking.
Family and English speaking. So we were right in Halifax. Yeah. I mean, that's the greatest part. Right? I mean, I don't know if you guys have been to Halifax, Nova Scotia, but I call it the best city. And the best city I've been to is Halifax, Nova Scotia.
It's pretty cool. STD capital of
beautiful
Canada?
there.
Is that what it is?
I think, Jody. I think
know they had.
I don't know if that's the
No.
case.
We might have to look that up, Brody. I do think it is, but it's all good. It's all good.
You told Ryan Clough that, didn't you, or something?
Yeah, because he's from up there too. We got warned when we played up there.
That's
that's
Newfoundland.
Really?
Thank you. Jody's like, what? Is that what they say?
My bad.
He's
my
like, I
bad.
haven't heard that. I hadn't heard
Newfoundland.
that.
That's what it is.
He's confusing you with the Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Hey, so you go to St. John's.
people.
Hey, I got to ask you, though, real quick, though, man. Marty St. Louis, he's your teammate in the American Hockey League. Are you like, whoa, this guy is unbelievable? Or were you like, why is this guy down here? Did you see him end up like, you never know he's going to have a Hall of Fame career, but like, was he good back then? Like, what were you seeing from him as a young kid?
He was really good. His competitiveness was incredible, and like he had a drive that he wasn't going to be denied. And he would always talk about being up in with Calgary, and he wasn't getting that call. And we had him and Todd Lushko and Chris O'Sullivan, who were just they were just hilarious guys. So when you're in the minor leagues, you embrace the guys you're with. You hang out with them every day. You have a good time. We used to go to the mall, and the hotel is connected to the malls, connected to the bars, connected to the rink in St. John. So we used to go after practice and mess around with people in the mall and have a great time. And he was right in the middle of all of it. But I don't know. I can't say that I thought he was going to be a guy that was going to up and impact the National Hockey League. But when you look back, like, the internal drive that he had, the will to play, and he was so confident in himself. He knew he should have been in the National Hockey League when he was in the minors. He knew they were doing it wrong. And when he got his chance, boy, it was incredible. And it was him and Zegras. There was a few guys down there that ended up having great careers. But no, I mean, he was a wonderful teammate. And boy, did he ever take what he had and get the most out of it.
All right, so what's the story with like Christoph Oliwa and Lyle Odeline? Like, they're not getting along, whatever. They're fighting with each other, whatever, on the same team, and like they fight like in the underbelly of the building, like walking to the bus or whatever. So they get rid of like Oliwa. Is that what opened the door for you to go to Columbus? Like, they were looking for a tough guy, and are you aware of like this like internal drama that's going on, Jody?
I knew a little bit about it, but yes, that was my chance because I was in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, playing for the Chiefs, the good old Chiefs in Jingletown. And then Columbus expands, so that means Syracuse is their farm team. So they need new guys. They need another team. So I did a phone interview with Jimmy Clark, and he said, do you think you can handle the big boys like McLaren? And I forget who else he threw out there. I was like, yes, I'm your guy. I'm your guy. So he gave me the chance in Syracuse. I got to go to the inaugural camp in Columbus for the Blue Jackets. I get sent down, and then Oliwa gets in this, whatever it was. I heard it was a fight in the shower, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, it was a shower, and then they got in another fight, apparently, from what I read.
Shower fight. Those are the worst.
Yeah, especially when the towels come out.
And Odeline was the captain, too. He was the captain, right? Just to make sure.
He was the captain.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Odeline was the captain. So then Oliwa gets sent to Pittsburgh, and I get rumblings at like February 17th when the Penguins are back in Columbus, I might get to go up. I got Gary Agnew in the minors. He's working on my quick feet. It's not going well, but he's trying to get my feet moving, my hands working. He's trying to get me to be I'm like, why are you doing all this, Eggs? He's like, wow, you might get a chance to go up. I'm like, yeah, right. And then sure as shit on February 15th, 2001, I get the call from Gary. He's like, yeah, you're going up tomorrow. You're going to play against the Penguins. And I was in the minors fighting everyone. Just like you, Chance. It was just like, we were just fighting anyone and everyone.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so I get this opportunity to go up. So I go up. I don't remember much about it. I remember the fans. I remember how I floated through the whole day. I remember being on the ice to fight Oliwa. We're lined up next to each other outside the blue line. But who's this guy across the ice? Is Steve McKenna. Oh, I forgot about him. I didn't even think about him. And he's the one that grabs me off the face-off. So that's my first fight. And then next face-off I'm out there for, I finally get to fight Oliwa. It goes great. Everybody cheers. I end up in the box. That's 2 shifts. Somehow I got 8 seconds of ice time, 2 fights and 2 shifts. I still don't know how that happened. I mean, literally the puck hit the ice, the whistle blew, and I had 2 fights. And then I ended up with a minute and a half after that played. And the team was going to L.A. I remember everyone was fired up. It was the first ever West Coast trip for the team. And I was just sitting there hoping I'd get that not get a ticket back to Syracuse, but I quickly changed. The guy came over. The travel guy's like, nice job, kid. Here's your ticket back to Syracuse.
Oh,
so that was my moment in the National Hockey League. 1 game. And funny story, my parents never go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They live in Edmonton, Alberta right now, and they don't travel. they won a trip to Las Vegas, and they were like 2 kids gone to Las Vegas. No one could get a hold of them. So I was so upset. I was like, I couldn't believe I couldn't get a hold of my mom and dad. I'm going to play in the National Hockey League. Like, can you believe this? Like, I was so upset. So I talked to my dad after the game, and somehow we got a hold of each other. And all he said was, well, son, I guess you'll just have to play another game so we can watch it. And I was like, well, that's a good way to look at it. I'm still really upset, but yeah, that's good motivation, I guess, to get back up there.
Wait a minute.
And he's like, I lost $10,000. You better make some money.
hey, you're playing. So you don't even know if they know you're playing. Like, they had no idea you were playing that game. Like, when did they find out, and how did they find out?
Well, it turned out that they found out just before the game, but I didn't know that because I told my brother and sisters, like, if you get a hold of them, let them know. So I went to the game thinking they weren't watching or they couldn't see anything. But after the game, I found out that they did catch a part of the game or something. But yeah, it was just back in a time where, no cell phones, no social media. So it was just kind of like get to the hotel phone and make that call.
Steve McKenna, like, was that one of the few guys that was a lot bigger than you? Like, he's like 6'7", isn't he?
He's 6'7". Yeah, he's a big guy. He's one of the bigger guys. I think the biggest was probably Boogaard, right? Yeah. Or Chara. Chara's 6'9".
Yeah, Boogaard was the scariest though. I mean,
he was scary.
I mean, I was watching all your shit. Again, I've seen all your fights anyway. But the Boogaard, like, fuck, like you don't know when he's gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like his reach is 4 inches longer. Like, he's punching through you. How scary was he?
He was scary because you knew he was a mean Western Canadian guy. You know what I mean? Like, him and his brother were tough, and there was just something about him that you had to make sure you were totally safe or defensive first with him, which I didn't always do. I think the scariest guy, the guy I didn't fight, was that McIntyre. Oh, kid that was in the guy that was. Did you fight him?
Yeah, I fought him in the minor. Oh, Big Stevie Mac, we've had him on. He is a great human being. Shit-kicking cowboy up in Saskatchewan.
You talk about punching through people. Oh. Like, he knew what he was doing. To me, I watched him fight, and he set the table with the first punch. Like, he would set the table, and then knowing that 30 seconds later he was going to eat. You know what I mean? That's how he rolled. It was. I never fought. I don't think I ever played against him, but
he threw
to
left.
me, he was the toughest.
He threw that
he
left.
Threw everything, didn't he?
Yeah, down the pipe, man. And he's squared up with you too. Like, he'll let you hit him. That means he's going to punch right through you again. So, God, was he
How
scary.
do you fight a guy like that? How do you? Because you're what, 5'11"?
I'm 5'11" and 3/4. 3/4.
6 foot.
I'm 6 foot. But you gotta have a game plan, man. You gotta have a game plan. Like, that one didn't last that long. But the taller guys, you got to counter punch. That's why, like, it's for you to be in 6'4". It's odd for you to fight somebody that much bigger than you. So you have to have a different game plan. So that's what I did.
I know, and you always went long. That was one thing about you. I was like, this guy is going to wear me out, and then he's going to pop me. I know what he's doing.
Oh, my God. Kind of like you did to Probert when you were on the ice. Yeah. Like, Probert, like, what would happen with that? Like, did you know? I mean, you're just like, the fight was over, right? I don't know which fight it was because you fought him, 4 periods in a row, and people have talked about that. But you didn't do that too often, right? I mean, you got him pretty good, though, when he was on top of you with the linesman breaking it up.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of action going on in that scrum, and Probert was so upset, and he had me down. He had his thumb in my eye socket, and I could see him. He was not in the building. He was mad, and he was just, he was burying his thumb in my eye socket. So I wiggled around under there, and then I saw this little bit of daylight, and I popped him right on the nose. And he's got me down there now, and I see his eyes come back to earth. He's like, what the hell? What are you doing? And I go, dude, you're gouging my eye out. And he looks at me, shakes his head. He goes, oh, sorry about that. Sorry.
Oh, so he said sorry.
Yeah, he said sorry. So I was like, there was nothing else I could do. It was one of those reactions. It looks dirty, but it was a reaction to what he was doing to me.
Hey, did you like fighting? Like, I don't know if you and George Laraque cross paths in the queue. You can remind us if the years cross paths or not. But, like, he talks about, like, how he just never liked it, never enjoyed it. Cam says he liked it. Like, I'm curious if you enjoyed it, like, knowing you had to do it pretty much every night. Is that something that you just kind of condition yourself to get into?
Completely conditioned myself. I enjoyed it. If I had known George didn't like it as much, I would have fought George. And George is a guy who barely lost a fight in my book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I lost a lot of fights. You know what I mean? I love the battle. I love the one-on-one. There's a certain amount of preparation, a little bit of anxiety, like anything that you do. I don't care what you're doing. That little bit of nervousness is good for you in the fight. And then when it's over, it's like, it wasn't really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You always build it up to be something that's gigantic, massive amount of weight. And then after, you're like, and you just feel like you've lost so much weight. It's you know what I loved about it, Strick? I like the role within the team. I like being a guy that could, guys counted on me to say things that needed to be said in the locker room, or, even if it was just something to disrupt or be a part of the team in that way. A guy that would stick up for teammates, love that role when a star across the room just gives you, doesn't have to say anything, just gives you that look of appreciation. It's like, yes, you're a part of this.
Yep.
And that just made you grow into that role even more. It was people don't understand it. The play is stopped. Everybody's on their feet. It's one-on-one. The anticipation, I loved a lot about it. Now, when I look back, I think, I had more anxiety than I thought. Like at the time, I was just like I said earlier, I didn't worry about losing. It was more of a fearless way to fight. It wasn't something that really wore me down, but I was afraid of losing my livelihood. And someone else, if I had a bad fight and someone else got an opportunity, then I would be gone. But I think that was a good way to exist too, because I felt like that my entire career. So to answer your question a long way, yes, I enjoyed it. And there's a lot to like about it.
Yeah, but you're like all this anxiety is built up, and then you go, and then afterwards, like, man, that wasn't that bad. But you probably, the guy you were fighting probably missed you by a half an inch to where he could have caught you so fucking bad to where you'd been choking on your tongue in front of 20,000 people. That still exists. That could have happened. You know what I mean? Like, afterwards, like, oh God, that wasn't that bad. But in reality, if you look back and watch how the punches were thrown, he missed you by a half an inch that would have set you back for months. So that still exists, right?
Right. And then that's the part of it. You never want the lights to go out, right? When you're in the fight. And so that's why a lot of the times when the fight was over, it was maybe a relief.
Yes.
But I carried that as kind of like the sharp, that was the worry, the worst case scenario. But there was also something to that which brought me to be on my toes or be sharp. But you're absolutely right. I mean, that's the reality of being at a fist fight, is that, the other guy, it doesn't matter who they are or what their record is or how big they are. But if they get caught in the right spot, it doesn't matter. They're going to go down, and that could change things. So that was always something we had to think about.
Well, you say you got your ass kicked a lot, and maybe in juniors you did because there's not that much video of it, but like in the show, who are you talking about? Who really kicked your ass in the show?
Let me think. Eric Cairns in Long Island. I mean, he caught me and broke my nose. You can't tell in the video, but my nose it was going east-west instead of north-south. And it was just like, it was bad. It was, you snapped my nose off my face. He was the guy that really beat me up. I forget who else.
Was it Wade Brookbank catch you with one with an iconic photo?
Yeah. He caught, but I didn't even blink. Yeah, but that wasn't that was a toe-to-toe fight.
Yeah.
Wade Belak, he gave me a good run for my money. God rest his soul. So did Boogaard. I mean, there was a couple times where I was hit. I didn't go down. It was probably like you a little bit. Sometimes you get stung and you're like, you know what I mean? You just got to survive the fight and don't go down.
Yep. Like you go black a little bit and you're like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, I'm fighting. But you stay on your feet. Most people fall. But we figured out how to stay on our feet for some reason. I don't know how we did that, man.
Crazy, right?
Hey, did you?
Yeah, there was a few. There was a few that.
Did you ever get like seriously hurt though? Like knocked out? And did you ever?
No, I didn't.
Like how's the mental part of it? I mean, you're doing great now. You're doing stuff with the league. You're broadcasting. You got so much shit going for you, man. Like,
thank you.
Like you're all good. It sounds like, right? All natural.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I've had a couple nose jobs to get this thing back in the center of my face, but that was about 10 years ago when I retired. No, things are good. My worst injury, honestly, was a puck in the face. Oh. My last year with the Philadelphia Flyers, the goalie drill was a high-low screen, and the high guy wasn't supposed to touch the puck. Of course he did, and I got that puck in the face and knew my face was broken, and I knew my career was going to be done. And other than that, I fought. I got lucky. I didn't. There was a few times where I saw stars from body checks and fights, but nothing where I got completely put out or sick or any of that stuff. So knock on wood, I'm lucky.
Got lucky, man.
Listen, man, you had a lot of suspensions though too, like which I don't remember all of these, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, that really did happen. Like, did any of them, like the McQuaid hit from behind, the Daryl Boyce one, like, is there one that stands out that you feel like you got the raw end of it, like maybe the suspension was too severe, and is there anything that you really regret with some of these suspensions that you got? Because like I said, man, you had quite a few.
Yeah. There was a point early in my career where I didn't mind taking a suspension, just to kind of show that line that I'm a little bit on the edge. But the Quaid one, I regret that one because that was chasing the puck, and I felt terrible that he went into the boards that way and he got hurt. The Boyce one, listen, I explained this to Coley Campbell. It was in preseason. I'll tell you the backstory in this whole thing. Mm-hmm. So the league comes around to every team and explains the new rules, right?
Right.
So the new rule was checking from behind. It was in boarding. They wanted to really crack down on this, right? So I remember leaving the Flyers video room right ahead of Peter Laviolette, and I looked back at him and I said, they're going to make an example of some idiot. Mm-hmm. And guess who the idiot was?
Yeah.
Me. So 5 on 5 down low for a big winger. I mean, that's like a tryout in training camp, right? Mm-hmm. So I got Boyce down low. I'm, first of all, uncomfortable because I just want to keep up with him. And as he spins around with that puck, I crunch him. I mean, unfortunately, it just folded him into the boards. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't my intent. It was just I wanted to make sure he wasn't going to get to the front of the net. So there, I'm big, I'm clumsy, I lean on him. It looks terrible, right? So I get the call from Paul Holmgren, the GM. You're going to get suspended. I don't think it'll be that long. Shanahan calls back like 8 hours later and says, you got 10 games.
Oh,
5 preseason.
This was not a 10 game. I mean, I'm looking at this hit. Like, it was a bad hit from behind, but I could not believe they gave you 10 games. So,
5 games in the preseason, 5 in the regular season. That really put me on my heels to start camp. But it was, there was the example. So that was a tough one to take. But I don't think I think all the suspensions are warranted. My greatest one, the one I'm most proud of, and this is going to sound stupid, mm-hmm. but we're in Vancouver.
Yeah.
We're losing 7-2. I got Sean O'Donnell, Daryl Powell, Blair Betts, and someone else on our line. And they got the Sedins out there on the TV timeout. We're not going to see these guys unless we're in the Stanley Cup final at the end of, it's 6-2 in the third period. Right. So I look at these guys and I go, hey, boys, how about a line brawl? And they look at me, 2 of them look at me like, are you serious? O'Donnell goes, sure. So we're all kind of having fun. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So now Vancouver's changed the Sedins off, and they've got, I don't know who they got out there, but they got like the fourth line and some defensemen. So puck hits the ice. We win the draw. So the puck goes to the front of the net. Goalie makes a save. I get pushed from behind on the whistle. Now I think automatically, as soon as I get pushed from behind, in my head think, here we go. Chaos ensues, right? So I drop my gloves. My gloves are gone. My sticks are gone. My stick's gone. I grab the first guy and I'm wailing on him. Second guy's coming at me. I pop him on the way and he goes down.
Yeah.
I turn to get another guy, and Blair Betts, my teammate, I look, he still has his gloves on, still has his stick, and he looks me dead in the eye and he goes, Shells, settle down, man. I look around. I'm the only one participating in the line brawl.
Oh, my God.
So I got suspended for popping the guy on the way in.
It was Andrew Alberts, I believe.
Yeah, he's
Alberts,
a tough kid, too.
Yeah.
He'll fight you.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
I don't like how they called it. I mean, do you look at that as a sucker? Like, he was kind of facing you, right? I mean, it was like there was a scrum going on. Was that a sucker punch?
I got the jump. No, I got the jump on him. I mean, when you're sitting there with your gloves off and someone's hands start coming towards you, it's on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's on. That's what I think. But I could have waited another beat, but I was in the middle of my own line brawl.
Oh my God! What'd you say to your teammates afterwards? Were you like,
I was like, what the heck? You
Jump
guys
in.
Forget about the line brawl.
Oh shit!
They're like, oh, that was only if the Sedins were on the ice.
God Almighty!
They called it off and didn't tell me, I guess.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise! How was that? So playing in Columbus, like, what was that like? I know you were young, but like that city. Like, did people recognize you at the beginning, walking around? I know it's a college town. It's a beautiful town. But, like, what was it like, the beginning part of the Columbus era?
It was amazing. And I got to be an expansion team in the Quebec League with Halifax, and that was incredible. And it's a small town with there's a lot of big city feel, but it's a small community. And Columbus feels the same way. They're so proud of their athletes. I haven't spent much time in St. Louis, but I feel like there's a little bit, like St. Louis seems bigger, but I feel like they are very proud of their sports teams, and Columbus is similar. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We got recognized right away. They loved everything that was happening. Our team had us in the community. We were in schools, we were in hospitals, we were part of a lot of things going on around. So, that got us out there. There's some great businesses we were involved with. So, and still to this day, I mean, our fans they haven't had a winner, but they're loyal and they love the passion. They love the sport and they love that they have it in Columbus. So it was, I'm telling you, it couldn't have been a better setup for me to be a part of that organization right away.
How'd you meet your girl? Were you like, hey, I'm Jody, don't mind my nose? Was she like, what happened to your nose?
She's like, do you play for the Buckeyes?
Yeah, do you play football?
Yeah. Oh, he said Stitch is a black guy, no tooth in. So, it was pretty unique looking fella. But just met her at a local bar. Yeah.
Just like,
hey, that's where I was hanging out.
Does she know anything about hockey? Were you like, no, this is what I do? Oh, God.
Nothing.
What was the first game like? What was the first game like when she came?
I don't know. She was bewildered at what I was doing out there, I think. But
because you're such a nice dude, and you're probably like,
I try to be.
And you're like, oh, hi, how are you? They're real sweet. Like, come watch me play.
Yeah.
And then you go out there, you take your fucking tooth out, you're cruising around in warmies with the slick back hair, you're chirping. She's probably like, you're fucking crazy, but I like you. I like it,
Hey, it worked.
Were you chirping a lot? Did you chirp a lot?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know if I chirp, but I like to get in guys' heads. You know what I mean? I like to be, I loved in warm up to go up to someone and just say,
we're going.
Just something mean. Not even if we're going, it's just someone else who's out there cruising around, I'm going to run you tonight through the boards, or just something where it's like, they're like, what, who's this guy? Just to make them uncomfortable. So the guys that can chirp, they can do it so well.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. You start doing it in front of the bench, you look like an idiot quick. So I always kept it off to the side.
Hey, I got to know the story though. Like, what's the story with Tie Domi and the stick passing it over to your bench? Did he really sign it? Like, what was going on with that? Signed it.
So I saw Ty last year. Was it last year we had Max Domi on the team?
Yeah.
And he came up to me and asked me if I remembered that. I said, Ty, do I remember it? I got the stick in my basement hanging on the wall. I mean, we're in the middle of a game. And I remember, I think Conan O'Brien was in town or something. And there was some kind of big feel to the game. Like there was something going on where, I don't know, all the suits behind the bench, they can all hear everything you say. And I just remember that little fact because I felt like Ty was putting on a bit of a show. But I went out to him and I said, Ty, we got to go. And he goes, beat it, kid. And he had like a real soft voice. He said, I took one in the throat last night. I said, no, you didn't. And as we got back to the bench, I was like loud enough so the people behind could hear. I said, you're just scared, like an idiot that I am. That's what I said to Tie Domi in Toronto. I think it was like a Saturday night. Okay, that's smart. So now I'm sitting on the bench thinking, okay, what's going to happen? So he goes, really, kid? He goes, what's your name? I go, Jody. He goes, Jody. Okay. To Jody. Best wishes. Tie Domi. Signs his stick, fires it over the glass. And now I'm sitting there and I'm looking around. I'm like, can he do that? Like, what the hell is he doing? So the trainer, Jamie Healy, comes up to me, goes, in my ear, he goes, hey, Shells, what do you want to do with this stick? I go, put it in the stick bag. It's coming home. And that was it. But I guess he did have something wrong with his throat that night, so he wasn't going to fight me. But he's a guy that entertained. Boy, did I feel stupid when he threw that stick over the boards. but I'm glad to have it. I mean, Tie Domi is one of those legends of the game when it comes to our role.
Oh, he's great, man. We've had him on. He's the best of the best. But he did get caught by Brian McGrattan in 2005. I think he was kind of.
Oh, did he?
Yes. You don't remember that in Toronto when Grattan caught him down the pipe and put him down? And I think he was just after. Yeah, dude, McGrattan caught him. It was. So I was wondering maybe like, he's just, man, when you fight that long, like Ty took hits. Like he ate punches, man, and he'd always make a fight out of it. But at the end of his career, he's probably like, "Fuck, man, I can't do this anymore." But
you know what he was so good at was spinning. Like I fought him. He's a lefty, so he spins you the other way, and he just gets you out balance. For his size, it's incredible who he fought and how he did. Like he was pound for pound one of the smartest and toughest fighters ever to play. I think.
No doubt, man.
Hey, man, you were involved in, like, that 24/7 show. Like, I mean, guys are, like, calling you stuff. You're calling. Like, did that bother you? Like, all of a sudden, like, Rupper's calling you, like, a terrible player. And all this
Rupper.
Or he called you irrelevant.
He called you irrelevant.
Yeah. Brandon Dubinsky called you a terrible player. You called you called Dubinsky a weasel, I think, or something like that, man. I'm like, oh, my God. So was that bothering you that all of a sudden all this stuff is, like, part of the show where guys chirping you about that, or did you just kind of enjoy having your name out there?
It bothered me, the Dubinsky stuff, because, you know, you sit in a room with a camera. Remember when Bridge Galoff was talking about the universe and he went on and on and on? Well, I mean, you sit there and you start saying things and, you know, the lights are off, but you can see the bright lights from the cameras, and you feel like you're in a safe place. So they start going through players and they say, what animal do you think of when you think of Brandon Dubinsky? And I say weasel. And you know, I don't mean it like he's a bad guy. I just mean like he gets under your skin. He's a weasel. And if you know Brandon, he's a guy that, like he's emotional. So he takes it out, and I think it was the New York Post where he's got quotes, and they come to me the next day, and do you want to? And I said, no, I'm not responding to that. I saw what he said. We'll have our time together, and we'll have our time. We'll have our time to shoot. And I was Brandon's teammate prior when I was with the New York Rangers. I sat next to him in a stall, so I kind of knew what he was doing. You know what I mean? So I didn't feed into that. But that was one of those things where I called other players different animals that were on that team, and they weren't so nice. And it's funny, after you shoot it, the GM gets final say on edit. And he came to me and said, "Did you want to say this about this player?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to say that about him." So, you know, just out of respect, because I know that the firestorm can hit. But when Rupper called me irrelevant, I was dumbfounded, because Cam, I mean, you can call me a lot of things, but when you say irrelevant, I know you have a mic on, and I know it's probably pre-planned. And I was just like, I was shocked by it. So we've had a good laugh about it now, though, Rupper and I, because, you know, the first time I was on NHL Network on a Zoom call, I was with Rupper, and I was like, oh, great. So every time he asked me a question, I was like, well, you know, Mike, I think that's an irrelevant, aspect. Every single question I did it for him. So we had a good laugh about it. I still work with Rupper now. I was his teammate too in Columbus, and it's one of those moments that you can laugh at. But in the moment, it got its own. It's funny what gets its own life, right? And that was one of those things. And he was going after Tom Sestito, heat of the battle. Mic's on, cameras on, in front of the bench. So I think we were all putting on a show when that 24/7 was happening.
I love Rupper, man. He's a teammate of mine too. But, like, you know, he scored those 2 big-ass goals in 2003. But, like, if you look at the point totals when you were playing against him, I think they're pretty similar. So for him to throw that bomb on you, you're like, wait a minute, you got 2 extra fucking assists. Like, who the fuck you can?
Hey.
No shit. I didn't have any ammo to go back at him with. I was just kind of like, okay,
let me check going
after the young guy.
That's what you said. You're going after a 22-year-old. You know, that's what you said. So, what about you and Avery, man? Did you guys have a lot of run-ins on the ice? I mean, he's squirting Gatorade at you on the bench. Like, were you like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's like squirting radio or a Gatorade at you.
Sticky Gatorade.
Yeah, exactly. Did you guys have a lot of run-ins or no?
Not really. I mean, he was a guy who played a lot. You know, he was one of those players that you'd love to get a hold of, but he always had a way of sucking you into penalties, which is like the biggest no-no when you play 5 to 8 minutes a game, if you're lucky. So, no, we always had, and he's one of those guys you got to stay away from with chirping. I mean, he is relentless, and he goes right to the core, as you guys have seen some of his quotes. And I enjoyed him as a teammate in New York. He was one of those guys that I didn't get to know really well, but you could tell, like, if we were going out or there was something going on, he was one of those players that he was a good Ranger when I was with him here. But no, I didn't get any run-ins with him. We were nose to nose a few times, but I always wanted him to hit me first. He never did, so that was too bad.
Oh, I get that, man. I was waiting for that too. Just give me the green light to jump him, but it never.
He's so good at what he does, though. He's so good at what he does. He's very effective. And to me, that's the toughest role in hockey. Him, Tyson Nash, the guys that could.
Steve Ott.
Steve Ott. They were so good at it, and they would, they would fight when they had to. They knew who they had to fight, but boy, could they get everyone riled up with whatever they wanted to do. And then they were back in the day. I mean, you had some of those guys, those mean guys that played a lot, or tough guys coming after you. And there had to be a lot of sleepless nights for some of those guys.
Listen, I got to ask you a couple Columbus questions, man, while they got you for sure. So Johnny Hockey comes there last year. Like when you found out about it, were you shocked that he was coming? And were you thinking he was just going to come in and he was going to be the player that he was the year before? He's going to put up 100 points? Or did you know that, hey, it's a little bit of a different animal in terms of the players he's surrounded by, and it was going to be maybe a little bit more of a challenge, at least in the first couple of years of that deal?
Yeah, no, I was surprised. We were all so surprised and excited that Johnny Hockey was coming to Columbus. Mm-hmm. Didn't think he was going to get those points because, he had his line mates on that top line with Tkachuk out in Calgary. They all had career years. Oh, yeah. And Lindholm is one of those smart, reliable number one centermen. We didn't have that in Columbus. We had some younger centermen, so it was really interesting to see how he was gonna fit in. He ended up with 70-something points, played with a bunch of different players. I like how he plays the game. He controls the game. He loves hockey. He loves being at the rink. So that impressed me about him. I think he's going to have a bigger year this year. I think there's more. We have Fantilli there now. We've got some guys that he's got some chemistry with right now. He's with Boone Jenner and Kent Johnson on the line. So he's a nice complementary piece when it comes to offense. And this is a power play that needs to get going. And that's something that if they can stay healthy here, I think you're going to see Johnny play really well. But no, it's a nice piece to have. It might have been a little before the time that the Blue Jackets needed a player like that as far as signing, if you're going to look at it long term. Mm-hmm. But, he knows he's going to have to go through some lean years with Columbus before they can get that championship pedigree in the room. So yeah. It's a good piece with some young players.
Yeah. Well, there was a certain amount of dollars he was looking for, and Columbus gave it to him. So
yeah, so sure did.
So he's there, man. Fantilli. I'm excited to see him get going because there's so much hype about Bedard, and then you see Logan Cooley come in, and I just feel like this rookie class is going to be more than just like a one-man show, which a lot of people are looking at it, to be, with Connor Bedard. Fantilli has a chance to do something really special too, man. He's going to get a ton of opportunity, just like Bedard will in Chicago, right, on the power play and all the offensive zone situations. Like, what are you seeing from him? How good do you think he can be?
I'm so impressed. It's crazy. This kid is so dialed in. I mean, the way he breaks down his skating stride, I just happened to ask him about his working on his skating, and he was talking about his arms and how they had to be a certain angle so that the snap on his core would happen at a certain time. And I was just like, what do you mean? Like, explain what you're saying to me. But he understands not just the technique, the biomechanics of his skating stride, and he works on that. He's takes care of his body. He understands hydration, all these things that when I played, I know the kids now, they understand so much more, and they have so many coaches and so many avenues that they can explore to get better. But he is a big, strong centerman who is just innovative. It seems to me how he approaches the game. So. On the ice, he always has control of what's happening. He's in the right place. He's a really good passer. I think Laine likes playing with him, which is good. So, because he's able to read the play and get the puck back or keep the puck. I think he's got huge upside. I know a lot of people, of course, are excited about Bedard. We're excited about Fantilli in Columbus, and I think he's a really good fit for what they have here. So they've never really had that top tier centerman, and this kid is going to be that. He's so confident, he's so strong already. He doesn't get pushed out of battles. So I expect a lot out of him this season.
All right, what do you see from Columbus as a city that people just don't know? Because everyone who's from there or lives there, I feel like they got to go out of their way to like hype it up to like let people know like what's going on. Like, why doesn't it have a better reputation, you think, as an NHL market for players to want to go there and live there and play there? Because all the players who do seem to have a positive experience, but I feel like you still have to really sell it to get people to want to come there.
Well, they haven't had a winner yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can't sell me, I don't think, to live in Detroit. And those guys that have lived there and won championships still live there and love it. A lot of them do. Pittsburgh, I feel the same way. Mm-hmm. You know, Mario Lemieux, Sidney Crosby, the teams they've had, that's the excellence that brings players to those cities, and Columbus hasn't had that yet. If you're a free agent, you're looking at those top markets all the time, right? Those nice places to live, or things you've noticed over the years, and places you want to go. And Columbus is one of those ones that are farther down on the list. And once you get to Columbus, Ohio, you understand it. It is a well put together, great city. People are amazing. The opportunity is amazing. We're within 500 miles of 80% of the U.S. population. So a lot of businesses are based out of there. Abercrombie, The Limited, Victoria's Secret, Intel projects, Amazon, everything is pumping into that area. So it's easy living, great sports city too. I mean, they get 105,000 people for Buckeye Saturday football games in that stadium. They're passionate. They love their team. They expect nothing but the best, and they're waiting for that to happen for the Blue Jackets. So, as an athlete and former athlete, it's a great place to retire, man. It's easy.
Yeah. So, in saying that, and you're a Canadian dude, is it easier to play in the States? Like, if you're a big dog, and maybe you want a cup, like, is it easier to play for a Columbus, for a Florida, for a Nashville, than a Calgary or Detroit or a Vancouver or Montreal? Like, is it an easier process being a player playing in the States, you think?
I think so. I think because, we have 2 beat writers, I think, and then our team covers what's happening. Local news will cover it. But we know in Montreal, Toronto, Edmonton, Winnipeg, it's the lead story. They know everything about those players. The heat is on all the time in those markets. I think the pressure is not as big in Columbus. I think it could be bigger. Our fans are expecting much more, and they're on top of a lot of things that happen. And they get excited about Johnny Gaudreau. They get excited, over the top excited, when they swept Tampa. I mean, the city you feel the pressure then, but you don't feel it all the time. And I think in those Canadian markets, you definitely do.
Hey, what'd you think of Torts? And was he the same guy you had in New York, even though you didn't play there very long, but obviously you got to play for him. You got to see it up close and front and center. Like, was he the same guy in Columbus that he was when you had him in New York? And how good was he for that franchise?
So I got there when he was kind of wrapping up with the Rangers. And I could see he was wearing on some guys. But I loved him. I love what he was all about. He's a guy that cares. He's passionate. There's no nonsense. Whether you like it or not, it's the team first. And he was like that in Columbus. I mean, he cleaned everything up for everyone, the trainers, the medical staff, everything. There was no nonsense as far as little things that could turn into big things. He made sure that everyone understood their role and their expectations, and he would challenge you on it. And if you weren't going that way, well, then he would change things up. And, he's a guy that knows what the dynamic of the locker room and how things should be in a pecking order. And I thought he was the face of our team. I mean, we went anywhere we went. The first question was always about Torts. And it's because he is that personality that takes the brunt of the criticism and does it in a way, he holds people accountable in a way that's not easy, but he embraced that role. And it was the best thing that happened for the Blue Jackets. He got the most look at Oliver Bjorkstrand. This kid was a goal scorer in junior, played for Torts, and Torts grinded him down. And he ended up being, a really good player under Torts. And now he's out in Seattle, and he's done a good thing there. But he gets the best out of some of these guys. And you can see them when they're in it. They don't really understand it. But when they get a little older, they say, yeah, that was a good moment in my life to get pushed that hard and to get squeezed that much, because that's what he does so well.
Hey, listen, we've had Rick Nash on, and
Yeah.
Like, so impressed with that guy, man. And I'm glad he's back where he should be, working with Columbus. And I know there's people who got jobs there now, so it's not about, like, him pushing somebody else out. But, like, how important is he to the franchise? I mean, we see it with other teams, Like, I mean, here in St. Louis, a guy like Al McInnes, Keith Tkachuk, Alexander Steen is now, working with the team. Like, these guys are important. And I love it when – NHL teams, they bring their legendary players around and they start working with the organization. Is he a face? Is he working? And do you see him continuing down this path from a executive standpoint?
I do. Yeah, I do. I'm impressed because he's he's a guy that came back here and didn't really know where he was going to fit in, followed the GM around, and now he's head of player development. So, that's kind of the path you need to go on to be the general manager or the president of the team. So he's got his sleeves rolled up. He's working at it. It's an important thing for our organization because, he's the superstar, the former first overall pick. His jersey hangs in the rafters. So it just, now we're 23 years into this thing with the Blue Jackets. It takes time for our alumni and our stars to come back and things to get elevated in that regard. So, I came in with Rick. He's a great guy. He's a guy that understands what the Blue Jackets should be and what they need to be. And that's when you get things happening. You talk about Al McInnes. I mean, just seeing him associated with the team or around the team, Prongs, even when he's back there with the team, that elevates everything that you're trying to do there with the Blues. And those are the people that make it even better. So it's good to have Rick. He's really I think he's doing a great job, man. It's I didn't think he would get into it. But I watch him and here's what he's been doing, and he's really into it.
All right, I like hearing that thing. All right,
too, man. He's a good cat.
Hearing you say that.
Yep.
Hey, listen, this Babcock situation, and I know you work for the team, man. I don't want to put you in a bad spot, but it was just so goofy. It is what it is, but just being on the inside, what was that whole situation like from your vantage point?
Yeah, well, I wasn't really on the inside. That was that off-season signing, and then it took him a while to get here because he wanted to get his contract from Vancouver or from Toronto. And then when he got here, I heard he was really doing a good job of taking control of what was going on down there at the rink, and he was excited at the opportunity, and he was meeting people and immersing himself in the city, him and his wife, and then you hear things come out of what happened, and I heard what you guys heard, and it's just. You feel bad for the organization, first of all, the fans, because, there is some hesitation about Mike Babcock right away when they hired him because of other stories, the top headlines you read. Mm-hmm. And then, as the weeks go on, people are getting excited. This new coach, guy that's won, and the players now and how they react should be a fun season. And then it falls apart before training camp. And that was a tough week for everyone in the organization. Just the fact that what you just said, that a lot of people were critical of the hire, and now it looks like everybody's right. So anytime that you do something like that in your life, you feel like you made a mistake. And I think the Blue Jackets owned it and moved on to Pascal Vincent. So you know how you can imagine how everyone felt for that period of time. But right now it's behind them, and it's too bad because you would like to see a guy change and come in and do things the right way, but it didn't work out that way. And unfortunately that went sideways. So for the Blue Jackets now, I've just been watching camp, and Pascal has everything. He had to go with kind of the mold that was set up by Mike Babcock with the number of players coming in, how the teams were split up, how practices were going to be run, because it was so close to the training camp opening. But he's done a good job now of trying to implement his systems and being the head coach. And that's going to take a little bit of time because he's been the assistant coach for this organization for a while. And Cam, when assistant coach, you can talk to him about anything. And a head coach, it's a little more distance there. So he's done a good job of doing that and not being a guy that is all available all the time. They got Jared Bowl there, who's
my
good
boy.
at that. Bowler.
It's my
boy. Your boy.
Damn right.
And he's doing a good job of playing that role. So I think it'll be all right. But I think everyone's glad it's behind us.
Well, at least you got out in front of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this didn't linger into the season. Yeah. And it's not like you guys fired like the most popular coach ever and the players are all devastated. They're probably relieved, to be honest with you. Yeah. And, it doesn't set the team back. You know what I'm saying, Jody? Heading into the season.
Yeah, that's right. There wasn't that established already way to play and how things were going to be. So Yeah, I mean, if you always have to find a positive in something, right? And I guess that's exactly right.
Hey, I got to ask you one more thing, man. You guys had tragedy also, like last off season.
Yes.
You know, and how did that impact the organization? Is everybody doing okay now in terms of, you know, everything took place with, you know, Matisse, and you got, you know, Elvis trying to, like, you know, reestablish himself. I don't know. I feel for him, man, because Manny Legacy, everybody. Yeah, you guys went through an awful lot last off season, man.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago.
Sorry, yeah.
That was you know, a terrible accident that you know, you never know how Elvis, what he's really going through. You know what I mean? That's something we have to remember with him, because he was there when that happened, and the poor kid Lennox, to lose his life like that. Yeah, that was a tough moment in the organization. Still a moment that, you know, guys still think about, with your teammate losing him that way. But you know, I haven't really talked to Elvis about that situation. I know he's been open about it quite a bit, and he has Matisse in his heart. But yeah, no, the organization handled it well. They had people available for counseling and all that, and everything just seems to be one of those. It's a situation where it's still in their hearts. I think they took the banner down this year that they had up last year for Kid Lennox, but Elvis is the guy, and Manny's the guy he's no longer with the organization. But you worry about those guys and wonder, you know, how they really feel and what's really going on in some of these moments.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. It was a couple years ago, man. It feels like it was.
It was fucking last year, man.
Hey, last thing for you. Hey, I remember JD saying to me a few years back how you had like a knack for broadcasting, a real promising future.
He's
Jody,
got the flow.
He was kind of.
He's got the fucking
He was
flow.
kind of pumping your tires, man. You're getting some national work, doing some stuff with the league too. But like, how did this broadcasting thing come about, and how happy are you, man, that you chose this career and that you're, like, you know, knee deep into it, man, and doing your thing, you know?
Doing damn good.
Thanks. I love it. I mean, I remember sitting on the plane. I was 37 years old, playing for the Flyers, and I knew I was going to be done. I knew it was my last year, and we had Keith Jones, Billy Clement, and, you know, guys, Paul Holmgren, and I was trying to follow these guys for certain periods of time and just figure out what they do. And Homer was great. He took me on a couple trips to watch the minor league team play, and, you know, to hear the open conversations of how it works, where they send guys down or whatever. I was fascinated at that. And I really wanted to be a part of the Blue Jackets and be on that hockey operations side. And I had conversations with Bill Clement. He took me for sushi in New York one day. We had a great day, a great talk. He's a fascinating guy who's done it all in broadcasting.
Awesome.
And has a great attitude in life. And I just, you know, but there was nothing on broadcasting that really excited me, because I just left Philly. And anytime you put yourself out there, you're putting yourself out there for criticism, I felt. And it wasn't just because Philly, it was just as Philly is one of those markets that everything's under a microscope. And I kind of wanted to just be behind the scenes and work. And so I walked into John Davidson's office. He was the president of the team. And I said, listen, I'd love to be a part of the solution here, you know, like every player that retires. And I, you know, I really want to help out and get in hockey operations. And he looked at me and said, I got nothing for you, but try broadcasting, you know, his big deep voice. I'm like, no way. I don't want to do it. I really, it's not something I want to do. And so he said, come back in 2 weeks. We'll talk about it. So I come back in 2 weeks, same conversation, same thing. And he after he says broadcasting, he says, just try it. The lifestyle is incredible. And he's 100% right. I started on radio. I was raw. I didn't realize how much work it was. And now I love the work. I love the people. I love the role. I don't, you know, wins and losses are not something that I lose sleep over at all. And you get to travel to the rinks, be around great people like you guys, and just keep connections and stay on top of the game. So I just absolutely love it, man. It's been fun. I've worked with a lot of really good people, producers, directors, and people in the truck, and that really helps.
Well, what's the most difficult part of it? I mean, do you fuck up names, or like, what is there something what's difficult for you when it comes to
what's hard is sometimes you always feel like you have to say stuff. And sometimes I've realized that you don't have to always say something. I think there's a simplicity to it where my job is to tell the how and the why of every situation. But the hardest part is when you do national games and you have two teams that you haven't really followed, and you understand, especially in the playoffs, both fan bases are so dialed into either team that, you can't make something up or you can't pretend to know something. You have to make phone calls, read articles, watch videos. You got to know everything about either team. And so it's the time that goes into it. And I think the hardest part for me was figuring out how not to waste my time. You know what I mean? You can get too worried about something. Like, I don't do stats. Stats to me, I can't remember. I get hung up on them, but I can do stories and understanding players. And, this playoffs, I got to know Jack Eichel a little bit. I'm so impressed with that guy as a person. He sat there and talked to me for a long time, and you pick up little things, and I love that part of it.
I want you to be stats guy.
I want you to be stat nerd, Jody.
I'll work on that. Yeah. I mean, I just can't.
I get you.
Yeah, people don't like. Listen,
Metrics.
I know. You're not like looking at the analytics and all that. I mean, like, they don't force that down your throat. That's good.
No.
Okay.
No, they don't.
Hey, why'd they name you Jody? Your mom and dad? Just curious.
Yeah, I don't know. Ned and Doreen. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. I'll tell you why. My mom. So in Canada, you get the American broadcast for so they were living in Western Canada. And they had the news broadcasts on, and my mom was watching the news, and this guy's name was Jody, who was doing the weather. So she named me Jody.
Was he a handsome guy?
Doreen. He
Jody
must have been a stud.
Jody Hall.
Oh, that's great, man. I love it.
Hey, man, all the best to you.
You're the man, dude.
We appreciate you coming on.
You're the
And
man.
congrats on everything, Jody, man. We mean that, man. Keep it going, will you?
Hey, guys. You guys do a great job. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime, big
I really
dog.
enjoyed it.
We'll be watching.
Right.
See you,
guys.
buddy. Later.
The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC. Options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the winter. All right, Jeff, is Jody Shelley
He was great.
joining us on the Cam Strick Podcast, fueled by First Form.
Yeah, baby. Another one of these.
Don't you wish you would have been able to fight Probert?
Yeah, I do.
Just to have a picture on the wall.
Yeah.
You can put it on Instagram
I'd
or
say
something.
he'd be the guy that you want to get.
Yeah.
And even if it's with a
He
black,
looked right through you.
Yeah, he had shark eyes, Dowell's eyes. But when he played for Chicago, he just wasn't the same. He had those vapors, Bauer vapors and stuff. He just didn't look. Now, he did knock out, when he played for Chicago, he knocked out Scotty fucking Parker.
Did he play for Chicago a couple different times, though?
Nah, I think it was just the last 3-4 years.
No.
And he fought Scotty Parker and fucking knocked him out pretty good standing on his feet. And Scotty Parker tried to choke him. We'll find that clip. It's pretty hardcore. But, like, when Probert started wearing the Blackhawks jersey, it's just one the same, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, that Red Wings, God, he was a killer for so long, But Jody fought him later on in his career, but he was still tougher than shit. It's a very intimidating thing.
He was in Chicago for a long time, though.
Yeah, 3-4 years, wasn't he?
5
years.
Like 7 years.
7 years. Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Yep. 7 years in Chicago. What, 10 years in Detroit? Maybe more than that.
Maybe about the same.
12. About the same.
8 or 9 years, yeah.
Okay, cool. He just made a bigger mark in Detroit
Yeah.
when he played there. But if you're a tough guy, young coming in the league, man, that's who you go. You go him, baby.
Mm-hmm.
You're damn right. You go him. You go Kosher.
Domi.
You go Domi. Big Georgie. Sandy McCarthy at the time. Guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
Tough. Craig Berube at the end of his career, too. You want to get a hold of him for sure.
Twister.
I ain't fucking with that.
He would destroy you.
He'd ragdown me pretty good. When he was I'm 250 now.
Well,
when I was 210, 215, it would have been tough for me to get going.
could you have played at the weight you're at now?
No, way too slow.
Really?
In the 90s, maybe, but not after 2004, the lockout year. I need to be fast, get my hits.
Yeah.
I could have played and fought better. If I'm 250 and I'm fighting a guy.
Are you 250 right
250,
now? 250,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You say that with such confidence.
Because I weigh myself. That's why.
Like it's a badge of honor.
It's not good.
No.
It's useless weight.
Mm-hmm.
Completely useless weight. And I'm probably going to get chirped on the camera, too, because my face is fat.
Rupert called Jody Shelley irrelevant.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
Well, we talked about it in the interview.
Yeah. I mean, that's just what you say sometimes. And Ruppy, I don't know how many more points you had at the time than Shelley. But Ruppy did score 2 huge goals in 2003 against Anaheim to win the cup.
He did.
So
scored some big goals in winter classics.
When you score a game winner in Game 7 to win the Stanley Cup, you're allowed to call people irrelevant in a way. Now, Shelley's probably like, go fuck yourself. Like, I'm doing my thing and I ain't going anywhere. And I probably have more games than you. But, like, you might have 5 more points than me. But you did get that game winner in Game 7 that everybody dreams of. Yeah. So now you could chirp a little bit more.
Oh,
That's all. Damn right you can.
What a great feeling.
Fuck. You're set up for life. You score a Game 7 winner.
What do you mean set up for life?
Like, you'll always be able to tell that story. You'll always be involved in things with hockey because you had such a big moment. That's what I mean. And even if you played 200 games, you score a Game 7 game winner and win the Stanley Cup, you're more relevant than a guy that played 600 games that didn't win sometimes.
Yeah.
You'll always be remembered. Your face is always everywhere. When you go to Prudential Center, you see Mike Rupp. You see him celebrate in front of the net when he tipped that in. You're damn right you do.
Yeah.
Goes a long way.
He's a great guy, though, too, man.
You could have been there, Andy. You could have got that game.
Just one game.
If only you would have scored a Game 7 winner in the Stanley Cup. Where would you be now? Fuck, this studio would be like twice as big.
Sky's the limit.
They wouldn't have to paint the walls.
Sky's the limit.
If only you would have done that.
Yeah, well.
What happened?
I know.
You're right there.
Isn't that amazing?
I know.
I will say this. If I played as many games as Cam did, I would have more than 6 goals.
Such a stupid thing to say.
If I
just
played,
pisses me off.
No.
That pisses me
if
off.
I played,
pisses me off.
Give me 300 games.
Give me 350. Because that's what I got.
300 plus.
Give him 350. Brody, give him 350 games.
I'll score 6.
You wouldn't leave the fucking neutral zone. You would stick out like a sore thumb at your peak.
When I was 23?
Your peak. You would look foolish.
When I was 23?
You would look, you would look like Ty. If Ty was skating in practice with the Blues, that's what you'd look like. You wouldn't leave the fucking neutral zone. If only you had 350 games. I'd
score more than 6 goals.
Brody, give him 350. Come on. What are we doing here? Can you just tag it on to his Wikipedia real quick? If only you played 350 games. That's ludicrous. Actually makes me mad.
Oh, are you upset?
No, it kind of makes me mad a little bit.
Hey, I'm just saying, dude.
Well, I'm just telling you.
Because I have better hands than you.
Man, if you would have played, if you would have played 350 games, fuck, this studio would be gigantic.
Well, I didn't say anything about the studio.
It's a stupid thing to say.
Because you did play 350, and this is our studio.
No, I need you to. I need you to. Man, if only you would have played 350 games in the NHL. You were right there.
Could you imagine?
I mean, Andy, you would look so out of place, dude. At your peak.
That's not true.
You getting the puck on the wall, you'd be like that Bobby Plager clip. We got to play this again. It's my favorite clip. Andy finally gets invited. We told the story before. I don't give a fuck.
This is like 20 years ago.
I know. 20 years ago, they're at Kiel Center at the time. It was like Savas Center at the time. And the Blues were playing like a charity game at Enterprise Center.
The UHL All-Stars.
And Andy got invited as a media guy. Yeah, you're not a player. As a media guy to be a player. And Bobby Plager never liked media, kind of like cheer, but he loved Andy. But Andy had his head up his ass, and he's like, I'm going to do things. And he goes down the corner, and he's just like, the puck gets caught up in his skates. Like, I'm going to kick it to myself. And Bobby fucking hip checks you so bad, and you fall down, and you just look at him like, what happened to me? And he stared over to your soul. It is the funniest clip.
It's a badge of honor.
It's the funniest.
Hip check by Bobby Plager. Are you kidding me?
My point is, like, if Andy even like practice skating around, like you would look so bad. You would stick out like a sore thumb. You wouldn't be able to get out of neutral zone. The puck coming up the wall. Oh my God! What are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do? Protect it?
I don't know.
What would you do? Are you gonna break away with somebody? Like you can get a breakaway somehow?
I'd get 6 goals.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
You wouldn't even touch the puck. It's all good. You were right there,
I give you credit for scoring 6 goals.
I could have had a couple.
Most people would have dreamed about having 1.
I could have had a couple.
You ever hit the post or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you?
I told you I shot the puck and I hit somebody's jersey, some young kid that they called up one time.
The jersey was in the way.
Fucking jersey, man. I could have been 7.
I've never heard anyone say that. I would have scored, but I hit the jersey.
Well, you didn't have an opportunity. You know,
I give you credit for that.
yeah, well, I should have scored more.
That's all right.
There's a couple things I should have changed.
I want to say Jody Shelley had like 18 or something like that.
Yeah, you played double mine.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
12, 18.
Scored a lot in junior, though. He scored like 25 goals in junior.
Yeah.
I think you had like 17, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I was killing guys and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was a good junior player.
He was fighting too, man.
Yeah.
You know, the Q back in the day had some tough guys.
Fucking A. Damn right. Big time.
Mm-hmm.
All three of those leagues had tough guys, littered with tough guys, man.
Littered with it.
Big time. Killers, dude.
All right. This is, it's been fun, man. I enjoyed talking to Jody Shelley.
Yeah.
I like having the cameras here as well.
Yeah, so do I. I'm like, you know.
This is
Make
new.
sure we look okay.
So check out our YouTube.
Yeah.
Go watch our YouTube.
Watch us on YouTube and all that stuff. We're going to post all this stuff. We're going to post the audio, and then we're going to post clips of this. And I know, again, this doesn't look good. The backdrop, like, fuck. Like,
We'll figure it out.
I don't know. Like, do I look okay? Like, I'll wear makeup. I don't give a fuck. But, like, this is a test run. We're probably going to post all this shit anyway because, fuck it, man. You came here, dude. I think we look okay.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a new thing, so you're going to see a lot of us.
No doubt about it. All right.
You know.
First Form and firstform.com,
Yeah,
baby.
baby.
Again,
Look at
download
this
that
right here.
app and do it today. Get that protein, get the apparel.
God, crush these things.
Everything you need, man.
Crush these
They
things.
are a great company, too.
Would you eat this?
Oh, yeah. 100% I would. Yes, I would. Hey,
Here, are you hungry?
I told you.
You hungry?
No, I can't eat till like 1:30 today. I am going to be
Pretty
hungry.
dang good.
I am going to be hungry.
20 grams of protein.
Can you believe that?
Does that make you sick to your stomach looking at that?
No.
Because it's beef?
It says First Form on it. Doesn't make me sick to my
asking.
stomach.
I'm just asking.
Gotta be kidding me. What a company, though, eh?
Dang good company.
You got to be highly disciplined to work there.
Oh, shit. I know, man. Everything's like very organized there, man.
Very organized.
If you're a young kid and you work at First Form, you're learning a lot.
You're learning. It's like
You're learning business.
You're learning a lot.
You're learning
of
discipline.
Things. Yes.
You're learning how to be on a team and be a
Teamwork.
team. You damn.
I was gonna
right.
say that, man. Team player, baby.
Fuck yes.
First Form and First Form.
Everybody's helping each other out. It's not just about me. No, everybody helps each other out.
Hey, use our link and only our link, though, man. Again, firstform.com/Cam Strick. If there's a way to get that on the screen, put that up there. Firstform.com/Cam Strick. Use our link and do it today.
Damn right.
The Illinois Recovery Center, Cam.
Man.
Hey, they're here for you.
They are.
Anybody needs help, you got to give them a call today, 888-743-0971. You can email them, info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com, 888-743-0971. If you're going through a hard time, it's a little bit bad, down in the dumps right now, there are people here to help you.
I know.
And get your life turned around and get you back on track. And you'll look back at those days and be like, wow, man, how did I ever even go through that?
I know.
And then the right people come along at the right time, and they just kind of get you back on track. They understand. They're here for you. Again, 888-743-0971. If you want to get in touch with Eric or Chrissy, man, we will help you out with that personally. Yeah. Hey, we can get you in touch with them.
You can message me too, man.
Yeah,
like
messages are always open.
They're all open.
Yeah.
If you guys need help with anything.
Yeah.
Like I said, I talked to a guy that's eating fucking 25 painkillers a day. I got to talk to another guy that relapsed and did a couple lines of coke. I did it's all different, man.
Yes.
I'm going to give you a different answer for each thing that you tell me. But I'll help you too, and I'll send you the right way.
Yes. Send you the right way?
I'll send you the right way where to go, what you're doing.
Yeah.
You need Suboxone.
Yeah.
You need Illinois Recovery Center.
Yeah.
I'll just talk to me, man.
Yeah,
I got you.
Tesson Roofing.
My boy.
Again, the preferred roofing company by all the big dog insurance companies, man.
Funny how that works.
That's all you need to know. If you're a big dog insurance company, you're like, we want to use the right people, and they use Tesson Roofing. Again, Cam says bad weather's on the way. I mean, he's like a weatherman. You can't get this type of prediction anywhere.
Well, no, you can. And I did get the prediction from higher ups, and that's why I'm
the higher ups.
Yeah, well, the meteorologist that I trust. And it's not like I'm just throwing this out there. It's like I evaluate weather.
Sure.
I'm very weather savvy. You can call me a farmer. Like, I'm not going to get caught with my fucking hands on my dick when a tornado's coming.
No, you're not.
Like, I'm not. And that's why when farmers get killed by tornadoes, you know that tornado was a motherfucker, because those farmers
What about the Farmer's Almanac?
Those farmers know weather.
What about the
They've known
Farmer's
weather before
Almanac?
weather even knew weather. What?
The Farmer's Almanac?
Whatever, Andy.
No, you don't know what that is?
I'm just telling. Yeah,
It tells you what's going on.
I know. They are weather savvy as fuck.
Yeah.
And so when you see somebody perish from a tornado, you know that thing was a son of a bitch.
Farmers typically know.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They've known before
anybody else.
Dude.
Yeah.
100,000 years ago.
That's who I trust, are the farmers, actually.
But then when the Europeans came over back in the day, and they're from Germany, and we're going out west, and we're on our cabin trail, and we're going down, and we're in the middle of Kansas, and we look out and we see black. And they're like, Daddy, what is that? Daddy, it's a storm coming, honey. Yeah. It's Daddy, it's rotating. What does that mean? Well, honey, I don't know. That's scary.
I got stuck in a
Where do you go?
In a tornado a few months ago.
Man,
in Indiana. I was stuck in a car. One of my kids got so worked up, he threw up all over the car during the tornado, all over my other kids' favorite stuffed animal. It was a terrible situation. And we overcame it, dude. Hail was hitting my car like you've never seen before.
So
there was a fatality, I think, a mile and a half away.
Yeah, funny guys. I know you guys have kids and all that, and you're fucking grinding up in Saskatchewan and all that stuff. But isn't it nice when you hear Andy tell a riveting story like that? God, I can relate to you. I could relate to you. They're at Cape Cod spending money, and all of a sudden, wind came. Ty got sick because he ate so much clam chowder at a wealthy restaurant talking to an NFL coach, and he puked in the rental car. That's God. You guys, sometimes you need to sit back and listen to Andy tell these stories.
Oh, this reminds me.
Feel good about yourself.
One of my fact checkers reached out to me.
Oh, what'd I do now?
From last
Go ahead.
time.
What'd I do?
Out in Saskatchewan, baby.
What'd I do?
Hey, we appreciate the fact checkers, everybody. East to west coast.
What'd I say?
North and south, man. All throughout Canada. My people over there in Saskatchewan. Well, here, there's several of them. Okay, so just sit back and relax. First one, you said there's no coffee in jail because it's a stimulant. It's false. They sell coffee in the canteen.
Okay. Some jails they don't, but okay.
Well, okay, they do.
Well, are we talking about Clayton Prison? Are we talking
about? I don't know what you're.
Are we talking about? Are we talking about
like it was a universal?
No, it's not. Nothing's universal when it comes. My mom worked at a prison. It's completely different than going to a fucking hardcore.
Can I continue with the fact checking?
Go ahead. I'll give you that. My bad.
You just got to eat this, dude.
Go ahead.
You said no smoking, but they have lighters. False. They sell vapes.
Dude,
you're wrong, dude.
Again, it depends on the jail, but that's fine.
All right. You said they make tattoos with pen ink. False. It's made from soot. Oh, my God. Do you know what that is?
You could use pen ink, too. I saw a documentary.
Do you know what soot is? I didn't even read all
this. Soot from charcoal and stuff like that from a fire.
They burn their feces.
Yeah, and
then they take the ash and put it in a bottle.
Oh, fuck, okay, it's
with
horrible.
Water and oil, and then there's your ink for a tattoo gun. Listen. You take apart your Discman and use the motor from that and tap into the power sockets for power.
That's one way to do it.
This guy said he did 5 years in federal. He knows what the deal is.
What else?
For cockfights, you were talking about cockfighting? Because you're wrong about this, too. This guy's wrong about everything. I think he, is onto something, has something, interesting to say, but then he's wrong. He said
You have nothing interesting to say.
He said they blindfold them because as soon as they see blood, they go absolutely insane. Did you know that?
Yeah, but what am I wrong on?
Whatever you said was
Get
wrong.
out of here. Jesus Christ.
But in the matches, guys strap razor blades as spurs to the rooster's feet.
Who is this guy?
And then they mess each other up.
Is he chirping me?
He's just.
Is he fucking chirping me?
I told you I hired fact checkers.
I'm pretty fucking right on everything.
Out of Saskatchewan.
Pretty goddamn right on a lot of stuff, man.
You're wrong about the tattoos, you're wrong about the stimulants, and you're wrong about the cockfighting.
It depends on where you're at, dick. It depends on where you're at. If you're at Clayton Jail, like my mom worked at, you could do a lot of things. Well, if you're at Max Prison and if you're in fucking maximum security in Denver on that that fucking nasty ass penitentiary in Colorado in the middle of nowhere, you don't get to do shit.
You're wrong. Dude.
Lord, I'm wrong on everything. What are you talking about?
You're wrong.
You know what
SparksandSparks.com. Again, Brett Tesson, TessonRoofing.com. Call Brett Tesson today. All right, don't let Seth ruin your weekend, man. Your kid has a big tournament.
Speaking of
He's
jail.
got big games. And Seth is out of jail. And then who hires him? The hockey shop.
He's sharpening your
This
skates.
is the guy sharpening your skates. He's also
weirdo.
terrorizing the neighborhood, much like that noise I just heard. I don't know what that is.
That might be Seth.
Could be. Up in the bush?
The bush. The one bush in your backyard?
Oh, it's a forest. In the middle of the forest, that noise was coming out of. Yeah. Get that Sparks and get it today. SPARX. Check out the new machine. It is innovative. It is amazing. They still sell the old one, too, but you can use our promo code Cam Strick. You're going to save more money than you'll save on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. It'll save you a ton of money. Get a Sparks and get it today. And take your game to the next level, one sharpening at a time. Bellman and Bellman.com. Cam, at Bellman, you get no what?
Swinging decks.
You do get sushi and flavored water, man. That's the customer service you get at Bellman. Say hi to Danny boy.
Hey, Danny.
And Dale.
Dale. The fuck you doing, boy?
And Kenny.
Kenny.
Yeah, he's the best.
Kenny.
They all are. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on one side of the street. On the other side, it's Buick, GMC, all located where?
In Troy, Missouri.
Troy, Missouri.
Dang good.
Bellman and Bellman.com. Again, Cam Strick Podcast everywhere you get your podcast. Instagram, Twitter.
All of it, baby.
My cameos are open and my DMs
Mine
are open.
too.
So send me some
All
messages.
that.
No, send me I'll get back to you.
I did a cameo
Very,
for some
very
cats
quickly.
in Australia, baby. A little shout out. What's up?
What's up?
I love the farm.
What's up, Aussies?
I love the farm, baby. You got those trapdoor spiders out yonder, and you got them fucking wolf spiders.
What?
Hardcore shit.
In Australia?
Yes.
They're fact checking
Like
you
this.
right now for that.
They're
dude.
like this. Imagine this is a wolf spider. Like,
You know tarantulas won't hurt you. Did you know that?
man, I said that last time.
Oh, okay.
Quit stealing my shit. You steal all my
Everyone
stuff. You need to make your own thing.
No, everyone
You
assumes.
steal my yoink, toe dragon cougars, all that stuff. You steal from me. You can't do that.
That's not true.
Yes, you do.
It's not true.
Don't do that.
Hey, follow us on all our social media. Hope you enjoyed this
you
edition of
guys.
YouTube, man,
Yeah.
too. We'll be doing more and more
All
video.
of it.
We got Jack and the Hizzy. Oh, by the way, 1929,
Yeah.
Instagram.
Little shout out
Our
to you.
boy, at 1929. We're doing some stuff with him
Christmas.
as well. Oh, my God, Brett Christmas
Brett
is his
Christmas.
name.
Little shout out. What's up, baby?
What's up, big Brett?
He goes, hey, Cam, my name's Brett. I go, oh, yeah. He goes, it's Brett Christmas. I go,
It's an awesome
I go,
last
word.
name.
I go, fucking
That's
Christmas.
an awesome last name.
I go, damn, boy. I go, did you get made fun of in school? He's like, yeah, a little
Why
bit.
would they make fun of him for
Because
that?
it's Christmas.
Dude, I've heard of other people named Christmas. I think that's a hell of
Lloyd?
a last name. Lloyd Christmas is one of them.
that didn't help his cause, by the way. When
I know.
Lloyd Christmas.
Nothing to make fun of.
It's all good. He's a good dude,
and he's
man.
got the best Instagram
Yeah.
going, dude.
Fuck yeah.
So we're
He's
doing some
awesome.
stuff with him. You may see some
Totally.
collaboration happening between the Cam Strick Podcast and 1929, baby.
Cool shit.
Although we are still hiring other social media
Yeah,
people.
we need another one. We're boiling it down.
I mean, Jason is doing a hardcore interview process.
Yeah, he is. And
So
Brody.
I think they're on the
Yeah.
the fifth round of the interviews right now. So
I know. Good.
So,
we
hey,
just want to be
you gotta
right.
vet the right people, man. There's no
We
question.
just don't want to be dicks and be like, hey, we want more from you. Like,
Yes.
you just got to know exactly what we want
Yes.
and just do it.
I know.
And
Yeah.
it's just that simple.
Yeah.
So just
Some
help
good
us
stuff.
out, man.
Yeah.
We're building this damn thing
Yeah.
up. Now we're on video. You know how I don't want to be on
Big
video.
shout out to Jack for bringing the cameras
Jack's
in,
a
man.
fucking man.
Yeah.
It's my boy anyway, dude. And, Andy and I, I don't like being on video, but you know what? I said, fuck it. We got to do what we got to do.
Yeah.
I don't care if my face is fat. I don't care if my eyes are red. My shirt looks like shit. I'm sweating. I got chew in my mouth.
Very wrinkled.
God damn it. It's God. I just don't look good, but I don't care because we're
Okay.
doing it for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time.
See you,
Thanks
dudes.
to Jody Shelley for joining us on the Cam Strick Podcast.